Ooh, I don't think I changed my macros when I leveled. Damn it.
Or should we do intros first? What do you guys think?
Let's do intros real quick.
Yeah, I think we should do intros.
A bit.
Yeah, we have not done it in a bit. You guys are absolutely right. That's why you're the best adventuring party DM could ask for. So we'll get started from the top of the list as usual. Carnes, please lead off with roll call.
Hello, everybody. We are live on my stream, by the way. I am Carnes in the Round Stump Discord, Lord Kirov, literally everywhere else that I have been able to log in and make an account. I am one of the players as well as the archivist with everything on YouTube, so if anybody wants to go back and find those later episodes that are no longer on the Twitch VODs, you are welcome to go and see the meager amount that I have since I've joined up with this group. But I play Bashir in this campaign, the little kobold ranger guy, who is currently trying to basically keep Scritch from burning down the ship, I think. I think that's all I can come up with, yeah.
All right, well done. Yeah, that is a big task though in itself. So don't decide that it's a very small one, because keeping track of Scritch is a full-time job and more.
Yep.
So much, in fact, that he's not even here. That's how hard it is to keep track of.
Where is he now?
Yeah, right. Thank you for that, Carnes, aka Lord Kirov. Next up, we have Rubik, the fearless leader.
I'm Rubik, Battleforge, the dwarf and commander of this party, and I am a barbarian paladin, among other things, with some tattoos and a big-ass sword that I hit you with real good. I'm Rubik. We're going on a boat.
You have two swords on your back, but one of them's just for show, right?
One of them is a companion.
I get that.
Well done, Rubik. Thank you very much for that. Next up, we have Kuuretsu.
Yeah, I'm Kuuretsu. I'm the other person streaming this. And my dog has decided to leave the shot. I play Rask, the lizard folk that apparently rolls really well in diplomacy somehow. And actually looks really terrifying. I guess my job is to play ambassador, or diplomat in this case, despite being the one that doesn't speak common super well.
So suave.
He's getting better at it. He's getting better at it.
Right. Well done. Thank you very much for that, Kuuretsu. Next up in the list, we have Phoenix Aries.
I play Jack. He's a Warforged Paladin, which might be multi-classing. We're still deciding. Yeah, I basically carry around a gigantic great axe that I just got a shiny new one, and I hit people with it. That's about it.
That's weird. You fan people with that axe.
Yeah,
No
He's like the
comment
next
of
coming
Schroeder.
Rubik.
Big disappoints.
Thank you, Phoenix Aries, for that. That was a very good rounded background on Jack there. Next up, and last but not least, we have Runark.
Hello, I am Runark. I play Ivan Lionheart in the campaign. I'm a human alchemist artificer. I enjoy concocting alchemist items and elemental bombs to throw at my enemies and try to get us through some sticky situations. It's a little rough sometimes, especially explaining sarcasm. It's real rough, but we get through it.
Is that sarcasm?
Is that sarcasm?
Well, we can take
God.
20 minutes, but let's just move past it.
Let's start at the beginning. Hey.
So thank you for that, Runark. Much appreciated. Now we will get into initiative. We'll get right into initiative.
$13.
18. Fuck. I forgot what my initiative modifier is. There it is.
54.
Fuck, no. I don't want to.
17.
Oh, weird. Bashir got the highest?
No.
Oh man! Oh
that's
man!
never happened before.
Ooh, I'm
It's
picking up
almost
on it.
as if he's based on Dex.
What?
No.
All right, did everybody else roll?
Yes, I got a 5.
All right then. Well, Bashir, please hit it off if you could.
Okay. I'm not going to be good on details from last time, because from what I can remember, Bashir spent most of the time sitting in an empty boat. But
Yeah, quartermastering the shit out of it.
from what I can remember is the rest of the party eventually sort of met up at the town house after doing a slight bit of shopping. Scritch got his amazing hat, and I'm not quite certain if they were basically taken for a fool in that instance, but that's an opinion-based thing. The party went into the main hall, and they eventually got Rask and Rubik to talk to each other, which went on a massive tangent on trying to explain sarcasm to Rask for the longest time. With, unfortunately, Bashir, one of the few people that can speak with Rask coherently, constantly, again, on the ship by himself. But the group went in, they chatted with the town hall, and I'm drawing a big blank because I purposely took like almost no notes because I knew my character wasn't there and I didn't want to have information I shouldn't have. That's a bad habit of mine. Went in, did some talking with the people who are up in the seats. Rubik did his shouting, and they left
That's
with...
every day.
Yeah, I know, that's what I said. Everyone did talking, Rubik did his shouting. But we left with some volunteers, and on their way back, Rask went back to the silver scale merchants, to try and see if they're willing to come and work, I want to say with us, not for us, but their current leader, I can't remember his name, is not a fan of Scritch at all. So that's going to be fun when that encounter comes into play. Unfortunately, that's about all I know. Like I said, I kind of tried to tune out stuff my character shouldn't know.
Fair enough. Next up in the initiative, or if anybody wants to take over, or
Rubik's next.
Rubik.
Yes. Forgive me if I repeat some things. I was not leveling. So, but there was handwriting's excellent.
God damn it.
We went over the sarcasm with Rask, who needs to go to grammar school. We entered the town meeting. Julia announces she's coming with us and has divested and retired from her position in the Guardians. Ivan is labeled by Scritch that he is the secretary of the boat.
I was also a recruiter at one point.
Right.
Yeah.
You can be both.
Something about goblin. Yep. Can't read that. We go to the boat with Ivan and Julia, and Ivan's cousin Nab. My handwriting is excellent. Yes, there's Ivan's cousin also.
Does anybody know Ivan's cousin's name?
With an N. Nab. Noob.
I lost my notes apparently.
Noob.
Didn't save. It's a human name.
Nope.
I don't know.
Noob's a human name.
Noah? I don't know. Nahab?
It sounds like Nab to me, but I can't read my own writing.
You should take a picture and send it to us.
Okay.
So we can try and decipher it.
It's all right. If you guys don't remember, maybe it'll come up again within the story, and you guys will catch it. But go on, Rubik.
Oh, and then with the cousin, is royalty and joined up with he's part of the Guardians now, or the Guardians.
Wardens?
Yeah, the Guardians
The
or
Wardens.
Wardens. I have Guardians. I don't know. Forgive me. Rubik's good with names.
I could tell.
Those people, they're all in the same uniform and they're all kind of dicks, except for Julia. She's pretty cool.
The
Except
halfling was
she should.
nice.
And then then we went back to. We also we met him at the tower when we were finishing, and they wanted treaties or something signed. And I was like, we're not like a nation and can't really sign treaties, and they just didn't seem to understand. They still wanted some piece of paper signed. I said I already gave paper to them, and Julia was like, yeah, we already got paper. We filed the paper. We sent the information on, and then Julia was like, they told Julia that, Julia, you're not in your position anymore. You don't have any power here anymore. And then they were like, hey, come on, guys, like she fulfilled her oath, and stuff, but she decided to go fight the evil with these guys, and yeah, that's pretty much all I remember. That was like the last situation we were in. Also, like everybody found out like officially that Ivan was indeed like royalty. If it was like uncertain before, like
Yeah, because I just walk around lying to everybody.
well,
You know me.
It never came up in conversation ever. I don't think ever.
I'm not necessarily
in-game.
proud of it.
Well, right, but it never was in game. So like people may have known, kind of, but like you were never like, hey, I'm royalty. You need to listen to me, you peasants.
Not about that life.
Right,
Maybe
now that
because
we all
Ivan's
know,
not a dick.
now that we all
Well, now
know,
it's
he's going to
public.
be in a lot more danger.
Oh, from Ferrum, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well,
From
no,
Ruby.
now we just expect him to pay for everything because he's rich.
No.
He's got a point there. He does have a point.
I ran away from my kingdom.
You didn't take any money with you, yeah, right?
Yeah, okay, rich boy.
That was so many years ago. I blew it all on coke and hookers.
But borrow money from your cousin. He's royalty too.
Yeah, it's just
He's also in a working position.
so he'll just be there for fun.
He's discovering himself.
Is there anything else anybody would like to add to the initiative?
We did get a few. I can kind of go into the small descriptions of some of the people that we got on as crew currently.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we got that one drunk guy from the bar who I thought we had seen the last of, but I'm waiting for the moment when he wakes up and realizes that Bashir's locked all the alcohol away. We got that one bugbear guy. Was he a bugbear or a hobgoblin? Because he keeps switching between them.
He is a
He was
hobgoblin.
Yeah. First introduced as a hobgoblin.
Yeah, the one hobgoblin guy who said that he had the axe from, I think it was Jack's homeland or something like that, specifically. Which was interesting considering, isn't his homeland basically like Atlantis under the sea at this point? Or something like that? But
Like,
No,
his
it's
name
just hit
Ed-
by a gigantic tsunami that like
Oh.
wrecked the whole place.
oh, okay. I thought the tsunami had like swamped it down like Atlantis.
No.
No, it didn't take it down. It just destroyed everything on top.
Ah, gotcha. But then we have the
I remembered my cousin.
we have the small girl. I can't remember if she is like a gnome or some other
She's a
race.
halfling.
Halfling? Yeah, I knew she was one of the smaller races. And she's kind of attached to Jack at this point, I think, as like a protector. And
Aw.
then we have the one guy, it's not a merfolk, but it's the
Triton.
Triton, that's what it is. We have the one Triton, I think, Wild Mage, which might be
We
fun.
don't know.
We don't know, but it's possible.
But
Yeah. And
I
then
think their names. Do you have their names?
I don't have their names. I have descriptions.
I do.
I do. I remember some of them.
Yeah, you guys go ahead.
Go ahead, Ivan.
I'll take two. You take two. The Kenku is
Okay.
Beakman, and he is a bard. And then the Triton is a female, and she is Coraline.
I forgot entirely about the Kenku.
Yeah, the Kenku is one-armed.
Oh,
Yes.
right.
Yeah, the one-armed bard. The hobgoblin is named Nab, I think,
Correct.
and then the halfling is named It starts with an E, and it's like Elise or something like that. I don't
Like
have my notes.
Elaine or something.
Ilsa.
Ilsa.
That's right. Okay.
Right, the Frozen Princess.
Totally not Elsa, because she has not cast any ice magic yet.
Yet.
Yeah, we just met her.
It depends on if the DM actually, if it was just a randomly generated name that happened to be really close.
No, there's an Anna and a Sven.
Yeah, she has her own story that is all pretty much. No, I'm just kidding. No, they
The
they're
next chapter
not.
relies on her.
They're not the same people. No correlation.
She's holding on to my leg and she just can't let it go.
Can we ban?
Wah.
This hasn't even started yet. I'm gonna move him.
God.
No.
And there goes Jack. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, you guys got the new members very well remembered about their names and who they were and such. Is there anything else you guys wish to add?
We're going on a boat.
It's all that I can think of.
And spoke with the Silver Scales and told them that he wasn't joining them. Specifically, I think Karns briefly mentioned it, and with not with hiring them, basically. And I did inform them of Scritch probably selling the thing, and that they could probably get them back if they wanted to bid against the Wardens.
Right.
And
Correct.
they would arrange it.
You also
So
pointed out that
you were going to set up a meeting.
You also pointed out to them that Scritch isn't the leader of the Bone Collectors, he's just the owner of the ship.
Yeah, well, I didn't say anything about the Bone Collectors, I just said our group. So I said
Right.
the dwarf is... that Scritch is not the leader of our group. Alright, and that's all I remember. Marco was sad, and I was sad because Marco was sad.
Yeah, Marco was very sad.
And that makes me a sad panda.
Is there anything else anybody wishes to add?
The
We're
hat?
forgetting something, but I don't know what.
Dev?
I mean, yeah, oh,
Did
yeah.
one of
I
us
guess
go to get Dev?
Yeah, Rubik and I thought we said that. Somebody
Yeah,
said
we
that.
did.
I don't know.
We said
That's
that.
why we were at the tower.
Oh, right. Right, that's when
Jack
your cousin
has
wanted.
a hat?
Jack has magical hat.
Yes, I
Oh,
do.
yeah, Jack does have a really nice magical hat.
It's my hat.
I
Both
cannot-
Scritch have big hats. Scritch's hat is the biggest hat, though.
He has the biggest hat. But Jack has the magical hat. Which one's better?
Careful, girl.
Right. So yeah, is there anything else anybody would like to add, or
I think that's everything.
this is definitely a good group initiative here?
Yeah. I don't know about you guys, but I'm good to get going.
Yeah.
All right.
Rask is still
Well done.
very confused.
Let's do
Yes.
the damn thing.
Yeah. No, well done on remembering a lot of pretty much everything. Well done. We'll give you guys some bonus experience points when we get to the end. So, where we left off, the Karns, you had the initiative roll, the top initiative roll. So we'll start off with you again. You are back in the ship with Scritch, Jack, and that is it, actually.
Well, and the rest of the crew, they were putting all their stuff in the bunkhouse.
Yeah, they're all in the front of the ship. You guys are still in the back.
I think we ended off with Bashir handing over all this stuff over to Scritch. And yeah, kept a set of keys for Rubik and Bashir if there was any like triples for whatever reason. But he will also point a note that I almost forgot to bring up. He will omit the key to this hold from Scritch's keys, but it'll be on Rubik's keys.
Okay.
So, because the whole point of locking all that stuff in there is to keep it away from the Scritch in the first place, so there's no point giving him the key to get in there. But, I guess after handing everything over to Scritch, Bashir would probably go to inspect the new crew, since he's technically the quartermaster according to Scritch.
All right, Scritch is going to look over all the keys and kind of jingle them in front of him, and he just smiles with a big eager face. All right, now I'm going to go get new furniture for the captain's quarters. He's just going to smile with a big grin.
As you wish, Captain Scritch. It is yours, as you see fit.
And Scritch is going to look around. He says, "I will go by myself, though." He's going to look to you, Jack. Stay here on ship. Protect it.
I just gonna smile and give him a thumbs up.
Good, good. And Scritch is he's gonna kind of pick up his chin a little as his hat kind of tilts back and it flops and hits the ground from the other side. And he just starts walking up the stairs as his hat almost gets stuck in the hallway as it kind of bends in. And you see him just kind of overshadowly walk up the stairs as the moonlight's being blocked out by his hat. The storm now is also setting in, and it's raining pretty good now. It's actually, you guys could actually hear rain kind of coming down the stairs now as the storm starts to keep continuing on.
Yeah, Bashir will walk next to Jack real quick. Would you mind introducing me to the rest of these crew members you brought aboard? I have yet to learn their names. Sorry.
I think they're sleeping right now.
Eh.
I don't know if you want to wake them up. I mean, you can if you want.
Oh gosh, wow, they're way down at the end of the map. I see. Okay.
Yeah, you have to like scroll down.
I was like, where would they be again?
I feel like all that salt water is messing with Jack's voice.
It's oddly making it smoother.
It's the rust.
Mm-hmm.
By the time that we get to the end, he's gonna be like the Tin Man. I mean, Bashir's not gonna be a dick and wake anybody up. And come with me, Jack. We should probably batten down the ship if the storm is approaching. Make sure that not everything is tied down and such. And head to the upper decks.
Okay.
I'll follow him.
All right, Jack. You follow Bashir up to the upper deck. When you arrive, you see a lot of the townspeople are actually some of them are hiding underneath the tavern's roof, and a couple of the other members of the village are looking underneath from their roof as the town hall meeting is ended and they've all dispersed. A lot of them are still watching you guys with very intrigue. They seem quite interested in you guys, to the point where they've kind of just made it almost like you guys are their favorite TV show in a sense. They're just sitting on their porches. They're all just kind of drinking, watching, seeing what next is going to happen with the bone collectors in a sense of things. And yeah, you guys are standing on top of the deck, and it's kind of quiet. There's actually a couple seagulls that have congregated from the storm, and they're just kind of hanging out on top of the masts above.
Just start throwing rocks at him.
What rocks? We're on a boat.
Boat rocks.
Boat rocks.
Yeah, you know, throwing rocks at trains.
Boat rocks.
You actually see Vree is actually on top of the deck. She's just kind of sitting on the edge of the railing with her feet off, and her wolf is just kind of laying down on top of the deck. And she's actually just sitting there with a fishing line in her hand.
Ah, I see Scritch for some reason. Oh, okay.
Ooh.
Characters are going everywhere.
It's from the last one, so I'm just moving him over.
I know.
So she's sitting there with a fishing line over the side of the boat?
Correct.
Okay. Bashir will walk over towards her if he sees her being the only person on board.
Everything other than that, there's just a couple seagulls. That's it. It's actually very quiet.
As he's approaching, he'll speak in Orcish because he assumes that's probably her best language. He'll just approach her. Well, hello. I was surprised to see you had returned so early.
She just kind of looks at both of you and Jack, and then just kind of goes back to fishing. What do you want?
I did not mean to interrupt your fishing, but I was curious if you had any experience with these large ships. If you would be able to help us to maintain the ship while the storm is going through.
She looks at you with kind of like an eyebrow lifted. So she smiles. So you, nor this metal fellow, have any idea how to sail a ship?
Bashir's experience with the water is a small rowboat on a pond before this.
We're doomed. She just keeps looking at her line and she's giving it slack.
I'm still the well.
I wouldn't know what she's saying because she's speaking in Orcish or Common.
Oh no, she actually wants to. She does not want to speak in Orcish. She actually does not wish to speak in Orcish.
Oh, if she
Okay.
responds in Common, then continue with
Yeah,
that.
she responds in common.
I know how to sail a ship.
She looks over at you. Where are you from?
A small island named Lantern.
She kind of looks you over, is very, very taken back by this, and she kind of stops talking for a moment, looks out at the water.
As she's looking me
perhaps
over,
maybe
I'm
there is-
gonna look down at myself, like what's she looking at?
Then perhaps maybe there is hope. You actually see her catch a fish, and she's gonna bring it up on the deck, and her wolf just starts just picking it apart instantly. In a couple bites, it's gone.
Looks like we won't have trouble eating.
Well, let's hope the rest of you are good at fishing. She smiles. You might want to grab any equipment and gear you can at the trading post here. They don't have much, but they might have something before we leave. You might want to tell the rest of your crew, as she kind of has to hesitate before saying that, the same as well. They will need everything they can to survive on this trip.
Well, the silver merchants seemed to have left quite a bit of supplies behind. I did not see anything that we were lacking for the voyage, but I'm not
Personal
experienced.
supplies, she says as she looks you over, looks you over as well. You know, things that you might need yourself. You never know what you're going to come across in the ocean here.
It is true. Bashir is not used to the open waters. It is a good point. What of you,
Should we
Jack?
go shopping, Bashir?
Yeah.
That's where Scritch just ran off to, saying he's going to spend all of his best money on the best furniture.
He just has a face. He just has his face in his hand at that mention of that. He's like, "Yes, Bashir was not going to stop him. I have given up on trying to rein in that boy on certain things. Perhaps it is good. Would you mind, if you are here anyway, watching the ship for us while we are away?"
She looks you over again, very who do you think I am? And she's going to
Bashir is not asking for you to sail the ship. Simply guard it.
She's going to laugh, and she says, I am not a bone collector, nor am I one of your lackey crew members. Ask one of your new members. I will sit here and fish, thank you. Roll persuasion check.
Alright. Okay.
Me roll perception or persuasion?
Yeah, you both can.
It'd probably be best. Oof. That's actually pretty good for my rolls and talking with people.
Right, with a -1.
Yeah, I went hard into dex, and so my persuasion and all that kind of suffered.
All right. She's just gonna sit there quietly as she just says she's gonna fish.
Oh, bird pooped on me.
And you see a seagull just kind of plop some poop on Jack's shoulder as he's trying to wipe it off. Luckily, the rain cleans you off quite easily.
Oh, that's gonna rust. Oh no, that's gonna rust. Bashir, should we get going?
I would be missed if I left the ship without anybody knowing that we are the only ones here. And while I assume that the Rey here would not allow people to incursion on the ship and steal it, I do not assume her to stop things such as petty theft or things that are not her concern. So it is probably best we take her on her word and grab one or so of the crew that we have hired and see what they can do while we are away.
I'm gonna motion to all the people that are watching.
I don't think anyone's gonna steal the ship.
You have a point. Yes, let us go. Start walking. I'm just like, I'm not a fan of this, but we kind of do need to go. So, yeah, we'll start heading down the gangplank at this point, I guess.
All right, so you want to head to which store? Which any type of certain location or origin?
Bashir assumes that on the docks, the closest stores are going to be the ones that sell boat-related stuff, and that's all he knows that he's looking for.
The camouflage shop.
No, I already have ideas about that. Well, but we'll get into that after we start buying some stuff. So yeah, the closest shop that looks like it's not like an inn or a bar.
The boat store.
The boat store, yes, the boat store.
Okay. You guys are gonna walk the gangplank and head back onto land. And when you do, you see a couple of fishermen stand up and separate as you guys are walking on the docks now, and they don't want to get in your way. And you guys head to the nearest store, the nearest boat store, hopefully, as your mind is depicting this. Now go to the next closest person, which would be Rask, actually, who's leaving the Silver Scale ship now, correct?
Yes.
And headed where?
Back to the ship, actually.
Back to the ship. Okay. Well, within that time, I would say you're just getting back while Bashir, I apologize, and Jack are now leaving. As soon as pretty much the fishermen all separate, you guys all kind of see each other. Well, it's almost like a sea of humans has been parted. It's just kind of like a ta-da moment.
Bashir.
Rask. I was wondering when you would return.
You guys are kind of dripping with water, like rain dripping off of you, and it's still dark, but there's lanterns here and there, so you guys can see each other pretty well. But you're just kind of dripping in water as the rain's coming down pretty heavy.
Rask has switched back to Draconic to talk to Bashir as he gets closer.
Okay. Jack, do you know Draconic?
No, I do not.
Okay, so to you, this is going to be a little interesting.
I've just come back from the Silver Scales.
The hell? What are you doing? What is that?
In common, Bashir will just be like, be calm, we are simply speaking in a tongue that Rask is more comfortable with. We'll explain.
You guys casting spells or some shit? Should I be worried?
I'll pull out my great axe.
Rask is just gonna look at Jack and just be like, Rask is slower with common.
Bashir's just gonna put a hand. He's gonna reach up and put a hand on Jack's knee because I assume that's the height difference, and and just it's like pat on his knee big. And do not be afraid, Jack. We are simply just speaking the things that are of no concern of you at this time. So yeah, looks back at Rask and switches back to Draconic. So, what did you find? What are you bringing with you?
The Silver Scales want to purchase their ships back.
Well, are you not going to sell them to the wardens or the city? I was unsure of which we had decided.
They can decide between themselves. But I need to speak with Scritch? Rask sounds really unsure because he's not sure if he should talk to Scritch or if he should talk to Rubik or who's in charge of selling the ships.
Scritch is going to buy furniture for the ship at the moment. We are actually going to follow and purchase equipment for ourselves for along the journey, while the ship is stocked for a general purpose voyage. We, at Vries Perhest, have decided to gather some personal items.
So Rastlik actually looks up and he realizes that well, I mean, one, they're all soaked, so he's just gonna be like, actually, while I was with the Silver Scales, they seemed to be wearing something that repelled the water. Uh, oil skins, I think they called it.
Shears cocks his head confused at that. Why does one wish to stay out of the water? It is a part of nature. It is no worse than the air or the ground.
Rask does not understand. We also do not have hair or the need to stay dry.
Yes, perhaps it is more of a. It kind of looks towards some of the fishermen. A smooth skin thing.
Perhaps we should get some for our crew, or at least for the smooth skins that we travel with.
It is a good option. Jack seems as though he might require something. I would be wary of him rusting in this weather.
Rask is also going to switch to common now and just turn to face Jack. Does Jack rust?
Jack?
Sorry, there was like some like kid just like running through our yard. I was like,
That's when you sick the dog on. That's when you sick Lola
yeah.
on that child, and you get back to playing.
Well, there's like our neighbors like always have like people over.
People think that your lawn is your neighbor's lawn.
Apparently, the kid was
like they're like no, we don't care about land or borders or anything like this.
The kid was like 3, so I don't know.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
If his parents were just like not watching him, and so he just like ran
Probably
off.
not.
So
they're lucky your dog's just not running around, I guess.
Yeah. I don't think I technically would rust because I'm like.
You are correct. You know that even like you don't know why you don't rust or how come. All you know is that you've been in water before. You've even lived in like an island that was surrounded by water. You've always sailed. You've never rusted at any time or at any point. You've never had to like maintain yourself. You've never had to do anything.
I'm literally a well-oiled machine.
Mm-hmm.
And Rask, judging by the material, you could tell he's made of it's a very rare alloy of steel.
Rask doesn't know anything about Jack's internals, so he's just asking.
Yeah, just the outside. Yeah, just kind of the husk.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm made of like wood and metal, so.
Okay, yeah, correct. Yeah, you do have wood joints and skeleton.
Right. But Rask also has not heard where you're from, nor does he probably know. But he's going to ask.
I'm from a faraway island known as Lanton. It was swallowed by a tsunami, and I left soon after.
So you sailed?
Yeah, I sailed here, and then met up with some people. And joined the Bone Collectors shortly after I landed here.
Rask understands.
I was a soldier before I came here.
And I'm gonna like point to like my forehead that has like the little insignia.
Can Rask like see? Well, what can Rask see in the rain? I guess.
You can definitely see it just with the insignia. You can see from the little lantern, like the lanterns glowing around you on the docks. You could definitely see the mark.
Then Rask will trouble you. Ask you? Trouble you. Bother you? Rask, wants you to help Bashir pick things for crew.
For crew or for ship?
For crew, we are.
Crew.
Yes. As Vree mentioned before, we have everything we need to have the ship go forward. But we do not know if the rest of the crew, including those down below and the rest of the bone collectors, have the equipment to sail, and you would be the best to know what we need.
But Rask also needs to find Scritch or Rupik, one in charge of selling ships.
Rubik would probably
Slave
be best.
owner? I'm kidding. I didn't say that in character.
Okay. Oh, God.
No,
Uh,
Ivan just drops his shit and leaves.
I just picture Rask's eye twitching at that point.
I just
Yeah,
imagine,
Rask would have just like bristled. And just like,
I just imagine Ivan just feel like, I hear the steps in the force.
Is that
I believe Scritch is somewhere around the island shopping for what I last heard, furniture?
It is what he said, yes. The office on the ship has been completely ransacked by the silver scales. I assume because they needed everything inside. I do not know. But all that was left was a small chest full of the keys and documents. So he's most likely getting a gilded bed or something with all of his money. Hey, that boy.
Rask looks slightly concerned at the misappropriation of money, but then he just shrugs. Rask will stay on the ship. If Jack and Bashir can find an oilskin for Rask.
Bashir will definitely be searching for equipment for you as well as the rest of the crew. Yes.
What's an oilskin?
An oilskin it's a out of character. Are you asking?
Yeah.
Yeah. So oilskin is typically what sailors wear. It's like a greatcoat that just repels water.
Oh, okay.
It's like a
Yeah, so
medieval
people
poncho.
dry.
Makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
And we're back.
That was Tidbits with Carnes and Kuuretsu. All right, so yeah, so you guys discussed some further shopping for the crew. Is there anything else you'd like to do as you guys are just kind of standing in the rain, just having a good old conversation? You guys are actually discussing some good business, and a lot of the fishermen are quite impressed with what you guys are talking about.
Wait, do we
Rask
still
is
have
actually
just like a
Gonna-
bunch of people staring at us this whole time?
I
Oh
mean,
yeah, they're all kind
yeah,
of watching. You guys. They're whispering to one another. They're talking. They like I said this to you guys. You're the new talk of the town. You guys are super interesting. You guys are crazy, random. They're all very small town fishermen and villagers. They don't have anything else better.
And you're speaking a super creepy language.
Hey, we're speaking in common now.
Yeah, we've
Yeah,
been speaking in common
after
for
a while.
bit.
They started speaking
Now.
common, but at first it was draconic. Yes.
Yeah, all right. But Rask is gonna wave one of the fishermen over, like the nearest one.
Okay, you wave one over and you see that the two of them that were talking, the three that were talking, two of them separate the one that you point at, and they just kind of leave him hanging as he looks around. me, my lord.
Yes. Or all of you.
He's gonna take off his hat and grab it with both hands as his rain's now coming down his face as he's trying to be polite. I
your hat back
apologize. We did not mean to whisper. If you overheard anything, we did not mean any disrespect. And he's bowing to you as he hopes that he can be forgiven.
Rask kind of reaches over and puts his hat back on.
You take the hat out of his hands, and he just stops and like freezes for a moment, and you put it on his head, and it just kind of looks derpy. It's like a little fisherman's hat, and he looks up at you as he's very wide-eyed and scared, and he's a little shakish. Thank you, my lord.
Rask just has questions. Rask does not.
Yes, it is on sideways as well.
Okay.
You can ask the question if you'd like, and he looks over at his friends for any help, and they're all gone. They've actually all left the docks now.
What does a sea person? I'm gonna look at Bashir. Sea ship person.
Sailor? Sailor?
Sailor,
As he
what
looks
does
up to
a sailor
Jack.
need?
Seaman?
A seaman? Yes, a seaman.
He's gonna
What
like
does a
elbow.
sailor need?
Well, I couldn't even
No.
elbow Bashir because he's so
I
short.
was gonna say, he's trying to elbow me, you're just gonna whiff.
The best thing that I could say would be food and water, and of course ale. He kind of smiles.
Well, we have enough for a normal voyage. I believe we need to take Scourge and the Rubik's appetites into account, and probably require a bit more food.
Oh, don't forget lemon drops. Those are important too. They prevent scurvy.
Lemon drops? Scurvy.
Yes,
good.
there's actually a farm 1 mile north of here, or 1 mile west of here. They have it's a lemon drop farm. That's where we usually get ours for our fishing vessels. My lord, of course, he vows to try to be to not. Hopefully, he didn't speak out of turn.
Ras kind of pats him on his shoulder because he's not sure what to do with the hat at this point.
It's all
Ras
messed up.
thanks you. Yeah. Ras
Oh.
thanks you.
Oh, thank you, Lord Rask. I'm glad I could be of service. Is there anything else I can help you with, or may I be on my way?
Ras-
Where's the closest shop
Closest shop? What do you mean?
for boat stuff?
A bolt of lightning strikes off in the distance, and he kind of cowers and quivers, and you hear some of the villagers go ooh, and some of the children scream as it kind of ripples a light effect across all of the land.
Yeah,
It's because you guys are speaking abyssal.
and the villager says,
Draconic.
the closest shop. I don't for what?
Boat items.
For boat stuff.
Yes.
Boat
I-
stuff.
I said that.
Really, there's the harbor master. He sells boat equipment. If that's what you're looking for,
If that is the one who sells things for boats, then yes.
he's asleep though. He doesn't get up till about 5 in the morning. About 5:30. He's a little older now. He's not as nimble as he used to be.
What time is it now? Approximately.
It is roll a survival check. And all three of you roll persuasion checks to continue to talk to this gentleman.
Oh,
Before he
good.
fucking runs away.
Just I love how much faith you guys have in your rolls.
Well, I got the -1. That's why I don't really have much faith in mine.
How long have I been? No, I'm kidding. I'm not gonna use
I got a
that.
16 for survival.
I got another 10.
I got a 22
Persuasion.
for my persuasion.
Oh yeah, survival.
He seems to kind of get that edge of uncomfortability around you guys away, and he actually looks down at you here and he says, "My lord, if I may speak freely."
Who did you say that to?
He's looking down at Bashir.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, Rask. Actually, Rask got a 22.
Rex nods.
He will look to you, Rask, and he'll look at everybody at once. He'll look all of you in the eyes, to show you how serious he is. There actually has been sign of pirates as well.
Bashir has only
What
heard
are-
of pirates in books.
What are pirates?
Pirates is like
Filthy
trying to
people.
think of it.
Oh,
They're
wow.
they're like me, a fisherman, or like a sailor like you, but bad. They steal and loot and kill.
From what
Water
I-
bandits?
Water bandits. That's brilliant, my lord. And he just kind of smiles as rain's dripping down his face, and you actually hear another crack of lightning hit the sky as he shakes and kind of almost like he almost jumps into your arms and then stops and looks up at you and then steps back. Sorry, my lord.
Rex just like
Is,
settles him back down.
is lightning a sign of pirates?
I don't think so. But now that you mention, and you see that he starts convoluting some sort of theory in his head of how it could.
What,
The
is
seagulls
he,
are a
like,
little
never
arrested.
seen thunder and lightning before?
No,
Rex is gonna
he's
turn him
very
around
intimidated
quickly.
by it. It's very loud, actually. It's very close to where you guys are.
He was actually living under a rock for the first 40 years of his life.
Rex is gonna turn the fisherman back around and like push him back the way he came. Go be dry.
Thank
Be
you,
dry.
Lord. He's going to scurry back to his other crewmates. It looks like, and they all start huddling around him as he starts talking. And you can see they're already asking him questions of what did you guys say to him, and this and that, and what were you guys saying? So he's all probably right now going to the bar. They're going to try to buy him some drinks to see how much they can get out of it. The rest of you now are still standing there on the docks. Is it still very cold and windy, and some lightning now and is striking, and thunder is echoing across the forest and the bay here that you're staying at?
Out of game real quick.
Correct.
I really like how they were like, oh yeah, there might be pirates, and Rask was like, yeah, whatever, go away. I don't wish to know more about pirates. Go away.
Well, he
Rask is
basically
like,
described it as
pirates are-
bandits, and I'm fairly certain we've all dealt with plenty of bandits.
Yeah, that's what
Demons.
Rask was
Closet
kind of
Elf is bandit.
saying.
Rask
It's
is like,
yeah, it's
we've
water
dealt with
bandits.
what we've dealt with land bandits. Water bandits aren't any different. As you just scurry them away.
Yeah,
So
That can-
go back onto your little human. So you scurry the human away as you're all still standing there, dripping wet from the conversation. And what'd you get for your survival check, Jay?
16.
16. You can tell that it's definitely past midnight, somewhere in between 1 in the morning and 4 in the morning.
So like one more hour and he'll be up.
Maybe. Either like 4 hours later or 1 hour later.
Right.
Who knows? Not me.
We definitely need some
Some general idea, but it's not easy to tell time when there's a storm.
I
and
think
you're...
the sun's down.
Wait, well, your Rolex is waterproof, so hold on.
Oh, shit. It's water resistant.
It's actually waterproof up to 30 meters. So
Oh shit.
I would hope that most of you is.
no,
Yeah.
just my
Just
Rolex.
Rolex.
Just the
Anyway,
Just the
so-
Rolex.
That is
And
the
the
time
Rolex
that you
semester,
can somewhat. That's the time you can somewhat tell it is.
Perhaps with the storm currently going forward in the boat stuff salesman, looks at Jack. With him still asleep for at least a little while longer, we should return to the boat and wait for the others, possibly get some rest.
Rask needs to find. Is the furniture shop open? Rask is slightly concerned now as he realizes.
Oh yeah.
It flashes to Scritch just like breaking
All you
windows.
remember is that Scritch told you that's where he was going. Jack, you firmly remember this as well, and he headed on his very merry way. That's why Vree kind of laughed as she said that he's heading off to the furniture shop at this time of night.
Bashir is not quite certain. Shops carry different hours in different areas.
Rask does
Perhaps.
not remember if anything other than taverns are open past non-waking hours.
At
A
the
visible
very
light bulb.
least, we best find him during the situation before he puts himself into debt.
As you guys are talking, you notice that someone with a hooded lantern starts walking down the docks towards you, and you actually see that they're wearing a warden's uniform, and it's a small halfling, and he steps forward and says, "My lords, is everything okay over here? The people were just conversating, and I saw 3 figures standing out here for quite some time."
Cast a spell on him.
I don't have any that would work on him, I think.
No,
No, just
God.
speak
Oh,
abyssal.
Hold on.
My lords, is everything okay?
Things are fine. We were asking for help.
What time is it?
Oh, well, you can check in the center of the town. There's a clock there.
Oh, Jesus.
Do you have a local furniture store, and do you know if it is open?
Oh, no, we have a trading post that does have furniture, but right now Galleys is closed.
Would you be kind as to point us in the direction? We believe one of our friends mistakenly went there in search of furniture.
Is Scritch green? Does anyone know?
I think he said he's green.
I think so.
He is a pale green, yes.
It's a pale green? Okay.
The trading post that he was referring to is right here.
Oh, I need to scroll up.
Yeah, hold
Yeah, the big one.
Okay.
Okay.
Across from the town hall.
I thought that
Yeah,
was the town
correct.
hall.
And
Nope,
where
the town
are we?
hall is here.
Oh, okay.
Town hall.
And where are we in?
We're probably like right here.
Yeah.
He's going to point in that direction, obviously, and he says, "You can actually walk along the docks there if you need to. It's a safer route, and it's a little easier. That way, there's no potholes or wagons to get in your way."
Or water bandits.
Water bandits? He seems confused by your comment.
Pirates!
All three of us
Wait.
just say that in unison.
Are you saying that there's pirates nearby? Or are you just having a joke with me?
You're-
Both. And then I'll turn.
Fisherman mentioned that there were pirates,
Water bandits.
water bandits, water bandits.
Yeah.
That's what
He,
they'll be
uh,
referred to from now on.
Looks at the fishermen over there as they're all gone and dispersed now to the tavern, and he says, "I'll go have a talk with him. Perhaps he was just trying to stir some trouble up. I appreciate your words, my lords, and your time." And he's going to bow to you. "I bid you a good night." And he's going to dim his lantern as he starts to walk now back towards his post.
Okay. I guess Rask is gonna head back towards the ship, and
What about you and Bashir? Or what about Bashir and Jack? Do you guys wish to follow Rask back onto the ship?
I thought you guys were gonna go find Scratch.
Yeah, we should probably
Yeah,
go find
Yeah,
Chris.
yeah.
You're gonna go look for Christian and Rask. You're gonna stay on the ship.
Yeah.
Okay. Next up in the group, it looks like we have Rubik and Ivan.
Yeah, we exist.
Oh, yeah.
You're not water bandits.
Nope. Well, not
Um,
yet, at least.
Not yet.
You guys are in the warden's tower,
Going to the jail.
going to the jail cell to see Dev
Devin, the new guy.
and the other guy that's in there that they suggested could be of use. As you're walking down, you can see that there are almost no other prisoners that they have. Looks like they've either taken care of them or have taken care of their swift justice around here. The only two, it seems, that are there are Dev, who seems to be leaning over the bars with his arms out, and another gentleman who's standing across from him, and you can see that he's just staring at Dev.
See, Dev, I told you I'd come back for you. You seem to be getting thin, though. Are they feeding you in here?
And Dev's just going to smile at you as he now sees Rubik's with you. And he's going to, you see, he was about to say something sarcastic and snarky. He stops and now kind of stands up straight. Lord Rubik, it is good to see you again. Ivan.
Good to see you too, Dev. It feels like it's been quite a while. How are you faring in here?
Just lovely, actually. Do you like what I've done with the place? As he looks around at his cell.
Ooh, I thought that rat was in the other corner last time. It looks good over there.
He says, "Where? That's my dinner." He's going to kind of pretend to look around for a rat.
Well, I told you I'd come back and speak with you, and so I have, and we'd like you to, potentially come with us on an adventure. We're looking to sail, and we hear you can navigate.
He's going to kind of smile as he looks. He looks over at across the cell and he says, "Do you hear that, boy? I'm needed elsewhere." And the small human, you can see he's a young boy. He's going to grab the bars and snarl at him. He says, "I'll kill you!" And you see he's about to say something, but chokes and falls to the ground. And Dev just smiles as he looks over at you, Ivan. He says, "Of course, I would love to go on you with an adventure. And sailing is my forte. In fact, it's what I used to do as a child. My father raised me on the sea, the very sea itself, the sea of stars, the astral sea. They say was formed from it itself. But that's another story for another time. I will tell you on our great adventure." As he smiles. "Now just let me out of here." As he looks to the wardens holding the keys.
Rubik's gonna go over to the little child in the cell.
Okay, you walk over to the young boy. You can see he's probably about 15 or 18 years old.
Oh,
As he's as he's finally catching his breath, he looks up at you and he says, "Please, my lord, do not trust him. He speaks lies."
I'm aware. First, why are you in here, and what did he do to you?
The boy tried killing him. One of the guards chimes in.
And you
Tried
put him in
killing
jail.
Dev.
Correct.
And you put him in prison for that.
Hear his trial. Yes, his trial is 2 days from now.
Sounds like he's just trying to help out the community.
Dev just kind of
Look
looks
at
over at
Dev.
you like, excuse me, Rubik, but do you not need my help? Again, as he kind of leans forward. Again.
What did you do to the boy that he was trying to kill you, Dev?
I did absolutely nothing to that child. In fact, I don't even know who he is.
All right,
He's just
Ivan,
this
let's go.
boy who just wishes me dead, and he's quite annoying, actually. And you see the boy is crying, like he's just like he's red in the face. His eyes look like he's been crying for quite some time. He looks really beat up. He looks pretty like he's traveled a long distance to come here. In fact, and you can see he has nothing but hatred for Dev.
Look,
I think he's gone mad. In fact, I think he's gone insane, and they should just give him the death sentence. He's just going to snap and kill other people.
I don't necessarily killing people. It's not always a bad thing.
You must have done something, Dev. I know people have hated you in the past, but this seems quite extensive.
Well, of course, he's a boy. Emotions run high. He's probably, adrenaline and what's that thing of boys go through with humans, puberty and girls, and he's probably upset. Maybe I banged one of his girlfriends or something, and you see the young boy just kind of like stares at him angrily, and he says, "You," and you see he begins to talk, and then chokes again and falls to the ground. And Dev just starts laughing hysterically and starts clapping. You don't learn!
I suppose you're right, Rubik. I don't think we need anybody here.
No. You need my help. You said you needed a navigator. You're traveling where? Across the sea? The Great Sea?
Well, what did you do?
What do you
What
mean?
happened between you two?
I don't recognize the boy.
Oh,
The
you
reason
were fucking lying, and I could see it in your eyes.
roll a perception check or
Can
an
I-
insight.
yeah,
I apologize.
Ooh, 23.
He got a nat 20 plus his
Okay.
ability score. Yes. So
Well, I tell him no.
he smiles and says, "Ivan, you have to understand. Rubik, please. I do not know this boy. In fact, the last thing I remember was when I woke up in the cell, he was trying to kill me. He put on a guard's uniform, faked being a guard of the warden, snuck in here, and tried killing me. Is that not true, guard?" And the guard chimes in, "He did. That's another thing. He actually heard a guard of the warden knocked him out, fortunately, not killing, but still a crime. He also tried killing this whatever he is," as he looks at Dev, and stole also other things from other people living here in the village, apparently. He was here for a couple days before he stuck out the place.
Really? You seem quite troublesome as I look at the child.
I'm not troublesome. I only wish to kill him. And he chokes again and falls to his knees.
That intrigues me. I'll walk up to the cell and I'm gonna pull out a parchment and a quill and ink, and I will kind of slide it into the boy's cell and say, "Can you write what you're trying to say?"
And Dev says, "Go on now. Try writing it, boy," as he smiles at him. The boy, as soon as he picks up the quill, shrieks and almost as if his hand is burning, and he grabs his hand and riles on the floor. "Whoopsies," as Dev smiles. "Now, if we can just get going, please. We have a lot of time, and that storm will be gone in the morning, and we should be going as soon as we can." That's just a navigator's expertise, I should say.
I'll take back the quill and ink and paper.
The boy tries grabbing it again, but it burns him as you take it away slowly. Do not trust him. He speaks lies. And he falls to the ground again as you can see he's just in so much pain, just from speaking about Dev. And Dev starts laughing, just kind of like over dramatically. He walks over and he grabs his jacket and he flings it over his shoulders. "Now then, please, Warden, open the door and let me get going with my friends here. They wish my help. I'm the new navigator of their ship." You do have a ship, right? It's not the wagon with that angry old man.
Conflicting. That natural. I kind of like have to believe him, but it's weird.
It's weird.
Like Ivan just wouldn't. I don't know how to play that.
Lord Rubik, please. You know I helped you before and I was a man of my word. In fact, I stayed to the very end when I could have left. And I will help you in this time of need. Trust me, my sword is yours. In fact, they took my sword, so I will probably need those as well.
Why are you in prison again? Again?
He
Again.
was arrested for being caught killing one of the fishermen. He's actually tried for death sentence.
What did the fisherman do to you?
Well, it's funny you say. I was trying to get some food off of his ship, and he happened to see me. He tried stopping me. We tussled. It was my life or his at that point. So I took his life.
Oh God.
But you were trying to steal, and you still murdered him. You got caught, and now you're here. The guard kind of like laughs. You're not coming free, not just yet. And he looks at Lord. He looks at you, Rubik. My lord, the wardens do respect your judgment and mercy. But if you are to take him, he is your responsibility. I hope you know. Rubik, my friend, as Deb smiles now and he leans in the bars towards you, very closely to you. Please now, if you could just come to reason, I will sail with you across the Great Sea and help you even further. And if you even wish for me to join the Bone Collectors, I'll do so. I'm in your debt.
If you'd like to keep your teeth, you'll stay quiet while I talk to this gentleman. And I turn to the guard.
Of course. He just steps back and just stops talking, and the guard kind of smiles at you, Rubik, for keeping Dev in his place. Wow. We've been trying to shut him up all week.
It won't last for long, I promise you. But we're looking for a navigator, and although he is one, prefer one that's not a murderer, a liar, and a thief. If you could point us in the direction of one that could get us from A to B over the ocean, that would be fantastic.
Well, the guard looks over at Julia, and Julia just kind of like shrugs as she doesn't know anybody as well as the guard doesn't either. Unfortunately, most navigators are usually taken right away. They're a very rare commodity, you see. Unfortunately, the only navigator I know is this devil you speak of. And he points to Dev in the cell, and Dev just kind of like shrugging, like raising his shoulders up, like kind of like ta-da. And he says, the boy on the other hand is the troublemaker, I'd say, out of the most part. This one, as he points to Dev, does tolerate, or does what is it? When you become I guess not subservient, but he does allow us, or he does not fight us back, or he does not fight back when we do what we need to, and he's been very cooperative with everything. The boy, on the other hand, has been nothing but difficult. He's even hurt several of the guards, and like I said before, assaulted one before. He's nothing but trouble. He's irate. Something's wrong with him.
I am going to rustle through my bag, and I will pull out a potion of minor healing. I am going to drink it and cast the spell Universal Potion, expending a 3rd level spell slot. So I can replicate the effects of a rare potion, and I'm going to choose the potion of mind reading. So when you drink this, you gain the effects of Detect Thoughts, spell save of 13. And I will attempt to detect thoughts on the boy.
Spell save of what?
It's a whatever detect thoughts is. Hold on. Int. If he chooses to resist.
He does not choose to resist.
Yeah. So I will attempt to detect thoughts.
Okay. As you do so, The young boy is basically screaming and crying in his head, saying he wishes to kill Dev. He wishes to kill Dev. You just kind of hear him crying in his own head just for a very long period of time.
That's it. It's just on repeat.
Yeah, he's not saying. Obviously, he doesn't know you're in his head. So
yeah,
he's just...
and I get it. I mean,
it's just surface thoughts. So you could question him, and then if you thought of something,
yes,
correct. Kind of idea.
Yep. So he's just thinking. He's just generally thinking of what he's thinking right now because he can't obviously he can't say what he wants to. He's having a hard time. He can't write it down either.
Look at me, boy.
He looks at you as he's crying and his eyes are swollen.
What did he do to you? Just think.
What do you mean, just think? You keep asking and I can't say anything. I can't say it. Why? And then you eventually hear him in his head. Why can't I just say that he killed my entire family? Why can't I say that he killed everyone in my village?
I'm going to look towards Dev. Well, it seems you can't block all forms of communication.
Dev's going to smile. Are you truly going to believe the thoughts of a child?
What reason does he have to lie? He's so young. Why would he make it up?
Perhaps I might have just killed his father, and he wrongs me for all the wrong reasons.
Well, is killing his father not enough for him to hate you?
Again, perhaps his father was trying to kill me. Why is it always I'm the bad one? I'm trying to help you here.
Well, every time we've met you, you've been captured, and you've done nothing... I mean, you almost nothing
That's
but
just
insults.
coincidence, and it's only been 2 times.
Oh,
I swear
yes.
the third will be different.
It happens to be every time. Not only 2 times, but every time we've met you.
The third will be different, I promise.
Oh, yes, I'm sure.
He smiles and looks over at Rubik. Rubik, please. This is just unnecessary. You need a navigator. I'm here. Use me. I'm willing to help you. You hear the boy start screaming, and he grabs the bars as he shakes them back and forth, and he says, "Let me out! I want to kill him!"
Calm down. There's nothing you can do by getting riled up.
You see the guard walk us over, actually, and just kind of pushes his arm through and pushes the boy down as the boy hits the ground, as he has no energy, really, to fight back.
Yeah.
He says, "Calm down!" He looks over at Dev. "Quit egging him on. You're just pissing me off," as he spits, and he looks over at Rubik. "Lord Rubik, what's your decision? I'm sick of listening to this bickering."
I will lean in close to Rubik just to whisper into his ear. We don't have... I mean, how much choice do we have? There's no other navigators, he says. We could try to search, but... I mean, it's not like Dev's going anywhere.
Guard, when's he, expiration date on this one?
Tomorrow morning, as he looks at Dev and smiles, and Dev just kind of shrugs and looks out the sky, looks out of his window as the sun is starting to rise.
I would like to look towards Dev, and I will, I guess, proc him to make a save. I'm not going to tell him that I'm doing it right now, at least. I just want to... So he has to make a save of 13 int. Ooh,
okay, yep. You tried to detect thoughts again?
Yeah. Well,
okay.
It wasn't. It just lasts for a minute, so I just did it like after I was done with the boy.
So you tried to, and you see that he just kind of looks at you as he's trying to block you as well, and he says, "Ivan, I'm just trying to help, and you just keep trying to butt into situations that just don't matter."
I mean, if you were really trying to help yourself, you would let me in and just try to settle all of this once and for all, would you not?
All right. Perhaps maybe I killed the boy's father, and perhaps maybe the father was the fisherman. Who knows? The guard rolls his eyes. Enough talking, as he smacks the bars with a billy club, and Dev just smiles. "I would love to kill you too, my friend," as he looks at the guard, and the guard just spits again. "Lord Rubik, your word. Please speak it soon before I lose my mind."
Yeah. I'm right there with you. I pull out my wand and I cast the level 1 detect good. Oh no, this doesn't work the way I thought it did. It's the never mind. I pull out 3 sets of manacles.
Dev looks at you and rolls his eyes. "Come on now, Rubik."
the sun's coming up. We can come back tomorrow.
Okay, fine. Put the manacles on.
I'll start like latching 2 onto his wrists and then
Okay.
put like as ankle manacles also.
Okay, so you have 2 on his wrists, and you have 2 sets of manacles on his wrists and 1 on his ankles. He's definitely very well locked down in a sense of things and well restrained. The boy is. You see the boy stands up. He says, "Let me go with you too. I can prove worthy. I'll do whatever you want." He starts screaming as he's snarling and spitting and just like irate as he's panting heavily. Don't let him go!
We can't have one who can't control their emotions.
No, don't let him go! As he screams, and you see he's reaching out as hard as he can, and you see he's bruising his face against the bars as he's trying to reach for all of his might. And Dev is just laughing at him and kind of winking. Goodbye, boy.
Can I go up to the bars of the boys' cage and like kind of grab him and hold him like still and like look him in the eyes and then roll like a medicine check? Is he on like, I don't want to say drugs, but is he like under the effect of something other than what would be natural?
Yeah, you could try to do a medicine check and check it out.
Yeah. Because it depending on what the rule is, then I'll probably lay on hands. That's not very good. That's okay. Give it a shot. 6.
You take a look at the boy. You can tell that there is no signs of really drugs. You can see this is pure adrenaline and hatred. He just wants to be heard. He wants to kill Dev.
You know, it might be fun to take them both along.
Dev smiles and he says, "If you take him and he tries to lay a hand on me, I swear I'll kill him, even with these manacles on. Not if I kill you first." And he starts choking again as he falls to the ground.
I mean, I'm sure the ship has a brig.
But where would we keep the boy then?
Dev rolls his eyes. "You'll want me in the navigating room, I guarantee it. I'll need a map and windows."
Oh, don't worry, we'll fix you up. The brig's plenty large for a map.
You go ahead on with Dev. I'll bring him behind.
Also,
Julia says, "There's actually one more I wish for both of you to meet."
okay.
I'll look around and like see that there's nobody else in here.
Just Dev, if you don't want the guard to poke your eyes out with a stick, you should probably be quiet until we get back.
And Dev doesn't say a word as you, Julia, or you guys follow Julia.
Correct.
As we walk, I'm following her as I walk out. I'll need his things, and I'll assume ownership of them, I suppose, on our return.
Ownership.
They're now Rubik's swords.
You see she nods and she says, "Of course. Do be careful with him. He is quite weary, but I'll keep an eye on him if anything." As you guys walk down towards the end of the cell, she's actually going to unlock one of the cell doors and starts walking inside. She walks over to a wall and she's actually going to push it in. And when she does, it kind of imprints and then lifts up.
High security.
As you walk in, you see that there's a small room, and she's going to walk over and grab a bunch of. It looks like almost like a small, like vault of her own stuff, and she's going to grab some papers and a small bag of money. And she says, "These are my personal belongings I wish to grab as well. The only thing that I would say is that someone told me, a Harper agent sent me this message, and she told me to keep it in quiet thoughts to make sure that it wasn't to reach anybody else's word or anybody else's ears but yours first, Lord Rubik." And she's going to hand you a letter.
I look around, just us. I'll open it.
She's going to shut the door behind you, so you guys are now completely sealed in the hidden room. You open up the letter, and you can see it is from Lord Vulcan, and it is actually written from 2 days ago. And he's basically just telling you overall the description of the manner of what's going on, and it's still your choice, and that he sent you help.
Sent us help.
Do you read it aloud?
Is that all it really says?
Correct. It's very vague and very quick, it seems. The letter says that they will come they will come within the next morning of the voyage of the third day. So it will be this morning, hopefully, if all goes according to plan. The letter also states at the very bottom in specific words, P.S. The members I have given you will be trusted amongst you and your members. That is a guarantee. So whoever he's chosen, you've probably already met or have adventured with.
I hand the letter to Ivan to let him read. Oh, shit.
Seems concise for him. And I'll hand it back.
Well, I suppose that's good news. I wonder.
Ow.
No, I agree. I wonder what form it's going to take.
I've given up a little bit. I just kind of want to get on the boat. This town's quickly growing weary. And now we have to deal with Dev. That's not going to be.
I know. I'm not. I was never a big fan of Dev to begin with, but we have to leave soon, unless we can find another navigator.
Well, we could stop at the next port, and if Dev doesn't work out, we kill him and get a new one at the next port.
All right, that might be a little harsh, but I might be good for getting rid of him. Not in that sense, but
we could, once we're out at the sea, we could throw him overboard, and then he could just try to swim back.
Yeah, no, probably not. We could. No, it doesn't matter.
It does matter. We have a murderer as a navigator. Julia, what were you gonna do with him? Kill him, right?
Oh, so we have to kill him?
We don't have to kill him. He would eventually drown.
That would be your path if it were only your choice.
Right. Or we could leave him here, and he dies in a couple of hours. And then we spend several days, weeks finding a navigator.
I know. I'm just fine. Yes, we'll take them both then. Like I said, you start off with Dev, I'll follow with the boy behind.
The boy should. I don't have any more manacles.
The boy in the brig.
Well, then let's find out some more about the boy first, and I take Dev, get a name, get some other idea of what the hell's going on.
All right. I'll meet you back at the ship then.
Julia,
Yes, my lord.
Are you gonna? You can just call Rubik's good. And are you staying here, or are you coming with me first, or?
I have everything I need. I'm done here now. I was told to just give you this letter in private by a harbor agent.
Did you get a glimpse of them?
It was a young high elf maiden, I believe.
How long ago?
Just before midnight tonight.
I'm sure she's not far, but interesting.
She left before I could say anything.
She isn't much of a talker. Well, at least she's got a pretty sharp tongue, from what I remember.
Well, then I'm probably glad we did not speak. She kind of rolls her eyes. But yes, I am done, my lord. Rubik, she smiles. I needed this is everything I needed. And, I believe I am ready to set my new path. She smiles.
Huh.
So you stated in the letter that help will come. When?
We work in very specific generalities. You'll know when it's time.
Of course. She kind of seems confused, but goes along with it.
You'll know precisely when they mean for you to know.
And are you sure it's a wise idea to bring the boy and Dev? Perhaps we should leave one of them behind.
We need all hands. Not many of the townsfolk were helpful, and the boy's got plenty of energy we can put to use, and Dev's going to be chained to the floor, locked in a room somewhere, with apparently a window.
If you wish, I will personally guard his cell if you'd like. I would be honored.
This would probably be a good idea. Thank you for volunteering for that. Maybe we get some wax and some cotton to stuff your ears.
His words will not fray my ears. As she stares very, you can see she means business when she says she's going to do something. You can see she's very attentive about it and does not seem like she's going to stray from it. Is not even afraid of guarding Dev. Do not worry about me, my liege. And she stops again. She says, "My friend Rubik," as she kind of like says it very awkwardly. I will guard him with my life, though, and I swear he will not cause a bother.
Well, we should get going. Perhaps you can convince your friend upstairs or upstairs in the other room to lend us a pair of manacles for a few gold coins, and I'll put like 5 gold in her hand. Which I assume is
she
like...
smiles and she says, "I think the quartermaster can come up with something." As she smiles, I will go get those manacles for you. How many extra do you need?
Oh, I just maybe 2 or 5.
2.
Just you grab some, and.
All I require is 2. Any others would just be a bonus.
Well, the boy will already be in a set of manacles as soon as he's released. If you'd like, they can give you a set, and I can go buy more.
Can have enough.
For the feet, it's good, and maybe if they have like ones that like attached to like the heavy steel ball.
Oh yes, okay.
Just whatever you can come up with. You can be creative. If we have enough, we get some interesting ones.
Of course, my friend. And she smiles and hesitates again by saying "friend" and not trying to say "my lord." And she opens the door again. And she says, "Well, then let's be on our way. Then we have our missions to attend to, and then we'll meet back on the ship."
Aye.
Meet back at the ship.
All right. So you guys leave, and you leave the cell, and Dev is standing there with the guard, and you see the guard is actually pushed Dev up against the wall, and you can see they're talking face to face for a moment, and then he stops, and Dev says, "Oh, please go on. He was just admitting how much he loves me and will miss me," and the guard's gonna punch him in the gut really hard as Dev just kind of coughs and staggers backwards. And you guys are going to leave now?
I was gonna gather our Dev shit.
Okay, yeah, they already have it all for you.
Yeah, I stuff everything I can in everything that fits through the opening in the bag of holding. Which
okay.
I don't know if he had some like real big shit, like a whole pack or something.
No, he had a backpack. He actually had quite a bit of treasure and money, I would say, and he had his 2 swords that he had seemed to gather since he was a dual wielder of the swords from the last time you guys remember battling with him.
Yeah, I just dump all the shit in the bag of holding.
All right. He sees you do that and just kind of gulps. "I'll be getting that back, won't I, Master Rubik?" At one point.
Huh. Well, yes, wink.
And he just kind of looks saddened as he looks down at the ground. I'm assuming you grab one of the sets of manacles and start making him follow you.
Yeah, I kind of I just walk behind him and kind of shuffle him along. I assume he's shuffling,
Okay.
Clink, clink.
Yeah, he's moving. He's pushing. Yeah, he's moving pretty good at a good pace. He definitely wants to get out of here as fast as he can. You can tell. He looks back at the boy. He says, "Hopefully our paths will cross again." And the boy is just freaking out, snarling, trying to get out of the door, like trying to get past the bars and the thing. And the guard runs over and punches him in the gut again. The boy falls to the ground and coughs up some blood, actually, and is just going to fall over.
I stay behind, and obviously I'm going to get him, but I stay behind and wait till they leave.
The guard looks over at you, and he's going to unlock the door. "Here's his manacles. You put him on. The key."
I'll take everything and walk in.
His belongings, and he's just going to hand you a dagger, and that's it.
I'll put it away in my bag.
Okay. So you decide to leave as well?
No, I'm gonna go
talk to the boy.
Yep.
Okay, so you're gonna go talk to the boy. We will now go back over to the other group. Rask is on the ship. We're going to go back to actually Bashir and Jack, who are looking for Scritch. Both of you roll me perception checks.
Hey, you can actually have a bonus in. Oh, hold on.
People.
Yeah.
Perception, you said?
Correct.
Reception one? Wow, I actually have a bonus in it and I still rolled crap.
19.
11.
Okay. So you both are looking around. Jack, you definitely notice Scritch standing outside of a house, what looks to be not even a store, and he's knocking on the door very hard. Kind of just, hello? Hello, I want to buy your furniture.
Oh god.
Jesus.
Bye. Skirt. What are you doing?
Bashir, he's over here.
I just got a point.
Well, let's go get him.
You actually notice him at this house right here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let us get him and bring him back. Let him know what's going on. As we're approaching in Goblin, Bashir is just going to shout out, Scritch, that is not a shop, that is somebody's home. I do not believe they wish to sell you furniture, and unfortunately we have found that none of the shops are open until morning.
Scritch is going to look at you very confused, and he says, this is not furniture store?
No, we know where to go for items such as that, but they are not open for quite a bit, and we wish not to bother them at this time. You might get You might get stuff for cheaper if you do not anger them.
You hear a faint voice from inside the house. Both of you, with your perception checks, definitely hear this. Yes, you hear a very faint voice say, please go away, tell him he can take the rocking chair and leave. And you see that there's a rocking chair that has been flipped over the edge of the railing and that's laying in the mud now in the road. Scritch, find furniture. This is furniture store.
It is furniture belonging to person, not to store. If you wish for the rocking chair to be your throne in the ship, you may take it. They have offered. But we must be returning. I believe Rask needs to speak with you urgently about more crew.
Is this the biggest chair? As he asks, you can see he's asking you this question and wondering if this is the biggest chair that you can buy.
Is it like halfling sized, or is this like human sized chair?
It is a halfling rocking chair, yes.
You're just going to think for a minute, like, how do I get this boy to follow me? It is the largest chair Bashir has seen since arriving here.
Well, I'd buy it just in case. And he's gonna walk over and he's gonna put a gold piece on the like right under right on the door floor, and then he's just going to flick it underneath the door. Thank you. And he's gonna run over and he's gonna point. He's gonna try to start dragging the chair, and it's barely going anywhere. Jack, pick up chair.
I'll go over and pick up the chair.
He jumps in the chair and sits in it while you pick it up as well, and he just smiles. Hee hee.
Carried around.
And his big hat's just kind of like covering him up from the rain, and he says, forward to the ship. And he's going to clap his hands as he points forward to the ship. And you can see he's pointing in the wrong direction, obviously, but you guys know where to go to get back.
Yeah, head in hand, Bashir's just going to start walking in the direction of the ship.
All right. So you guys start heading back after finding Scritch and successfully getting him to follow you back. Rask, you are on the ship. What would you like to do?
Rask is at this point probably just sitting next to Ree. I'm probably petting. I think the dog's name was Leon.
Leon, yeah.
Leon. He probably would just be petting Leon. Waiting for Rubik or Scritch to come back because he didn't want to go chase them down and chase them around the city only to meet them back here again.
Okay. Ree has handed you actually a pretty good size red snapper to eat. Very fresh. You can see it's still wiggling around.
Okay. Rask will probably just uses a claw to like gut it and then eat it.
Okay. All right, you just rip out the guts and you actually pull out the spine and everything like that and whip it into the ocean, and you just start like mowing down on the fish, and it's actually very delicious for you. You've had fish before, but nothing like this. The flavor is very different since it's saltwater.
Has never had fresh sea fish, salty fish.
She just kind of laughs and says, "No, there is a difference between the two fish." She smiles, a very big difference. These fish will definitely change your mind on flavor and taste. Because of how free they are, they taste better. She smiles.
Ras just kind of nods, and then he's just like, swamp fish taste muddy.
She just starts laughing.
Ras just kind of cocks his head. Is that not right?
It's very right, in fact. The last time I remember eating a fish out of the swamps, it tasted nothing but mud. And she just starts laughing again. And you see that as she's thinking back to that time, she kind of has a look of sadness on her face. Eventually you hear a voice of, or someone clearing their throat from behind you, and you see it as the hobgoblin Nab. Lord Rask, I presume.
You are Nab.
Correct.
Ras just kind of waits for him to keep talking.
Sorry. I was wondering if I had any duties, or should I wait for further word?
What did Bashir assign?
The metal fellow Jack, the Warforged, told us to rest and wait, but I was just curious. I wish to prove my loyalty as soon as I can. And he smiles.
You were the assassin?
Yes, a rogue, perhaps. Now, I do not kill unless needed.
Rogue. Okay. Russ just kind of tilts his
Treasure
head.
hunter. And he kind of like smiles at the title.
Rogue. Rask is not really Wait, was Nab one of the ones that, or was it Beekman that spoke Draconic?
Beekman spoke Draconic.
Rask is not familiar with ships.
I'm not so familiar either. I'd say I'm more of a land person, but always time to find out new things, right? And he smiles kind of nervously. I suppose I could reside on guard duty, or if you have somewhere for me to guard and that is of great importance.
Are we on the side with the gangplank, or
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. So we're facing the gangplank right now, right?
Correct.
Okay. Rask just like kind of thinks for a moment and scratches his cheek. A very human movement. And then he's gonna actually point toward over the side where you can see the Silver Scales ship. Keep an eye on that one. Tell me what.
Of course. I will keep an eye on both of them. And he smiles, and he's going to walk over to the side of the ship and just kind of keep an eye on them.
When is Rubik coming back?
Vree just kind of. Are you asking this, or are you asking Vree?
Yeah, he's just like mumbling, like Rask wants to know when Rubik is coming back.
Vree just kind of rolls her eyes and she says, "Who knows when he's coming back? He's always off in a storm of thunder and lightning." And as you actually hear some lightning and thunder kind of flash, and then you hear the thunder roll off in the distance, and she just kind of smiles at the timing. He's always off to something, and of course it for Rubik, he's so stubborn until it's done his way or the right way of his way. She kind of like crosses her fingers back and forth, almost confusing yourself, and she says, whenever it's done right, then he'll come back.
Rask is not sure, and he's a little bit lost, but he's just gonna nod. He's gonna change the subject and just ask, "Have you oiled Life Reaper?" Is that the sword's name? I don't remember anymore.
Yes. She's actually going to lean over and grab her sword and hand it to you.
Rask is gonna do a quick once over to make sure that she didn't miss any spots, especially since it's being covered in water at this point.
Yeah. You do notice that she's actually taking very good care of her blade now. Like much better maintenance than before. It seems your words had been heeded.
Good. Rask just nods in satisfaction and hands it back to her. Teach me how to fish. Rask does not know how to use stick to fish.
You don't need a stick. She just looks over at you and smiles. All you need is line and a hook. And some good bait sometimes.
Line and hook?
Yes, it's called snagging. I don't actually fish. I snag them.
That seems a little
I'll
bit
show
confused.
you. Come here. And she's gonna walk over. She's gonna get off the side of the ship and like kick her feet over and hand you the line and the hook.
Okay, Rask
And just kind of like mimic next to you how she would throw it and like kind of reel it back in and such. So roll a intelligence check. Or no, not intelligence. I'm sorry, wisdom.
Okay.
Wow.
22.
Okay. You catch on very quickly actually to fishing. It makes a lot of sense to you. The survival aspect of it is very easy to catch on to. The obvious unknown of the ocean is obviously a thing that would make you want to fish, not to just go in the water all the time. So this makes sense to you. So this all connects very easily. It's actually something that you would want. Like your lizard folk instincts kind of kick in, and you understand this very well. So she smiles and she says, "Look at that! You're a natural. You've already caught one, and as you bring in your line, you actually see that you caught a very large eel."
What is this fish? It's very long.
It's an eel, or you can call it a shavs. It's a very disgusting looking fish, but delicious, especially in a stew. She smiles and licks her lips. She's gonna unhook the fish, and she's just gonna take her hatchet out and chop the head off as it starts wiggling all over the place, and some blood starts spraying on the ground or on the deck.
Rask is gonna
Don't
turn
worry.
back to the gameplay though, because he's like distracted looking for Rubik or Scripch so that he can do this as soon as possible.
Okay. As soon as you do look up, you actually see off in the distance Scritch sitting in a chair off in the fog as he's coming through the rain, and below him you see Jack carrying him and Bashir down below walking next to him.
Rask kind of picks up the head of the eel and looks at Free, and then looks at Leon. And does it look like Leon wants it?
He licks his lips, but he could tell that you really want it. Like you can see, he's almost letting you. Like he's kind of watching you and waiting for you to eat it.
Rask will take like one of his daggers and like split it down the middle and throw Leon half, and then he's just gonna start munching on that as he turns back to Free. Rask needs to speak with Scritch as soon as possible. We'll be back.
And she takes the line and hook back from you, and she says, go on, go play soldier." And she's gonna get back to her post and continue fishing. As you see that she actually has a good selection of fish that she's already caught, including the eel that you just captured.
Nice.
So you start. You actually kind of like run your hand along the railings and wipe off the blood that was from the eel head. and you're just licking your fingers now from the taste of it. It's actually quite good. Again, it has that very unique taste that you're not used to from the saltwater fish. And you start walking towards Scritches. They're now walking up the gangplank. Bashir, Jack, you guys are you guys are walking up, and you see Rask kind of standing at the other end up on the deck, waiting for you guys' arrival. And Vree still fishing at her usual spot. Off in the distance to the right as well of the ship, you actually see the Hobgoblin is standing up there, looking out towards the Silver Scale ship. Hello, everyone! Look at the furniture that we found. And Scritch is just gonna kind of show off his new rocking chair that's covered in mud. For the most part, it's been rinsed off from the rain. Well,
Bashir just keeps walking forward.
It
Rask,
a
what do you
chair.
think?
Rask just kind of blinks several times. It is a chair.
Yes, chair for my captain's quarters. As he moves his big head around.
Rask looks at Jack and then back to the chair. Jack has saddle. Is Jack not chair?
Well, chair for room. When Jack is
can be
off
in
doing
room,
other things that I tell him to do. And Scritch smiles.
But Scritch doesn't want to be with Jack?
Not all times. Sometimes need space from Jack. Jack can get very...
Chair-y?
clingy.
I'm just gonna put the chair down.
No, Jack. In captain's quarters. Wrong place.
I'm just gonna walk away.
Jack, come back. Jack! You see Scritch just starts pouting. Look, you both made Jack upset. And he looks at you, but he looks at Bashir and you, Rask, especially.
But Rask just said truth.
You see
Is
Scritch
there-
gets down from the rocking chair like a little kid getting down from a bigger, a taller couch or something like that. And when he does, you see he almost falls back on his butt. Jack, wait! And he starts running after you, Jack, as you're walking away from him.
He's
I
just gonna
catch
leave the
Scritch?
chair there.
Can I catch Scritch?
Yeah, you can catch him if you want. Roll a grapple check.
Which is strength?
It's your strength, yes, versus his athletics or acrobatics.
Alright. 14.
Oh yeah, you catch him. You grab him and you pick him up, kind of by the back of his coat. And when you do, you see his big hat kind of gets in the way, but you are eventually able to lift it up with the other hand and look at him.
Rask needs to talk with Scritch.
Scritch will listen to Rask, and he just kind of smiles at you nervously since you've already picked him up.
Rask has new bidders? Bidders for ship.
But we sell ship to Warden.
But Silver Scales want ship.
Silver Scales are
Silver Scales can pay better than Wardens.
prove.
Silver Scales are merchants.
Silver Scales are. And he stomps on the ground and he starts pouting and he spins around in a circle like a little kid throwing a tantrum. And he stares up at you and he finally spits again. And he says, "They are poop. I hate them. We do not need them. Skirt is
better.
all we need. Warden are all we need.
Skirt won't sail ship.
Skirt will sail ship. Because
Only-
Skirt and all of us." And he points at your knee, because that's as high as he can go. Actually below your knee, to be in fact.
God. Rask has bet with Silver Scales.
Roll persuasion.
$14? Fuck.
Okay. You see that Scritch looks at you and thinks it very, very hard and very long. You say they pay more?
Can pay more.
Scritch will listen. But first, Scritch must go say sorry to Jack. Jack, wait! And he starts running after Jack again.
Okay, now...
As he's running in place in the air, as he's hoping you're going to let him down.
Rask will let him go very closer to the ground so he doesn't crater.
And as soon as you put him down, he kind of speed like it's almost like like an animal running in place on like a slick floor, and then he just takes off. Jack, wait!
That's a Roadrunner shit right there.
Yeah.
And Vree is laughing hysterically as Scritch is just so much to handle.
Yeah.
With that being said, Rubik, you all eventually see Rubik appearing out of the fog now. But not only just by himself, he is following actually Dev, a familiar face that you all remember from the Ember Citadel.
Dev.
And Julia behind Rubik.
And Rubik and female warden. Rask cannot remember her name.
And Vree is going to kind of bring in her line as she sees Dev.
I can't remember off the top of my head. Was Julia the one that brought in Bashir originally when I portaled in?
Yeah.
Okay. Bashir's going to give her like a slightly disdainful look at first. I mean, tell you.
She smiles at you and she says, "I hope there's no hard feelings, my lord. I was only doing what I was supposed to, and I will do the same for you now as I'm a bone collector, a sister, if you will." And she smiles at you.
You are doing your job. Bashir just does not like to be manhandled.
Well, I'm glad I'm not a man then. And she smiles at you.
Snap.
Oh man.
Do not.
I am no man.
No man can slay me. I am no man. Just whips off the helmet. No, I'm just kidding. So you see she smiles, and Rubik, you approaching the ship. But before we actually have you guys all reunite, you guys just see Rubik. We're going to go back to Ivan and the young boy in the cell. That sounds a little weird.
Oh!
Ivan. Questionable. All right, Ivan. So you see the young boy is on the floor and he's coughed up some blood. He's kind of like slowly breathing as he stands up and he looks at you holding the manacles.
Sounds
He says,
worse.
"I'm not going with you unless I kill him."
You think to yourself, "Oh God, what have I done?"
Oh God, what must other people out of contest think of me?
What did he? Can you speak about it when he's not here?
He tried to, and he tries talking and he falls down to the ground and coughs up like he's trying to he coughs up a little bit more blood and you see he's pretty weak.
You need to calm down.
I won't calm down until he's dead and I have his throat I have my hands around his throat. My throat around his hands.
Kinky.
And he looks to you and in anger, and as he says that, he actually coughs up more blood, and he actually passes out from saying those things by threatening to kill him.
I will cast Cure Wounds on him with a spell slot.
Okay. You do so, and you can see that he's in rough shape. He's gonna need a lot of rest.
He regains 10 health.
Okay, that helps a lot. That definitely helps a lot. He's definitely going to need some good rest, some food, some water. You can see he's been through a lot.
Ivan can't carry people. How big is this kid?
He looks to be between 80 to 100 pounds.
Ivan can't carry any. Oh my God! Is there a guard around?
There is the one guard, and he's smiling at you and just wondering what you're gonna do with him now.
I'm gonna hold up a couple of gold pieces and say, "You got a wheelbarrow?"
For that much gold, I'll carry the boy myself to the ship.
I'll hand him 3 gold.
He takes the gold very gladly, and he smiles, and then he's going to walk over and pick up the boy very easily and throw him over his shoulder. When he does so, he asks for one of the sets. Are you already put the manacles on, correct?
No, I didn't, but I will.
Okay,
As
when he picks him up, he'll ask you for one set and put it on his feet while you put the other one on his hands while his hands are over his back. As I said before, the dagger was the only thing he had.
Does the kid have a name?
I believe they called him Aelwyn. It's just Aelwyn, basically.
Was he from around here?
He's from a village north of here, or not north of here, west of here. A small village of farmers. In fact, his family still lives, which is why it's very odd that he speaks of these things. The only one that was killed, from what we found out, was his wife. Well, they weren't supposed to be married. A whole story short and everything. He lost his wife and child. Blames Dev, apparently.
So how would he? When did you see their family, or when did you get these reports?
We heard it from the Wardens Guild themselves. They sent wardens out there to inspect everything. The wife was dead from childbirth.
And the rest of his family still alive.
That's what they say.
Got a classic
I'm upset.
whodunit.
I'm upset he passed out so early. He should heal up just fine.
Boy's the most annoying thing we've had since the other one came here, as he points to Dev's cell.
Well, I mean, if you could imagine what he's been through, you know, you be cursed by somebody like that, and
I think he
can't speak about it.
I think he has a couple nails loose, my lord. He's not all there in the head. Sometimes farmers' boys, when they're born, they come and they get knocked on the head when they're a baby here and there, and they're not as sharp as a tool as the others in the shed, as you could say.
I suppose we'll see. When he wakes up. Could be some time, though.
Of course, my lord, and he bows his head. Well, let's get going. And as you begin to leave and head back to the ship, I'm assuming now, you actually can see the sun is starting to rise.
Oh, God.
It's still raining, but not as hard.
We've been out all night. Ugh.
You continue to walk on towards the ship. Rubik, you get to the ship, and you are greeted by everyone else, besides Scritch and Jack, who are having a moment, and you can see Scritch is apologizing to Jack for treating him so wrongly.
It's well he should.
Dev is just going to kind of break the silence as you guys are all kind of standing around. Oh, hello, Dev. Oh, hello, everyone. It's so good to see you as well.
Wait, but sorry, I stepped away for a second. Rask did say Dev.
Oh, okay. He's going to look to you, Rask. He says, Rask, and he's going to try to walk over towards you as Rubik still has the chain, like at the other end of the chains, and is kind of stopped as he looks over at you. Rubik, would you mind? You can let go of the chains. I'm not going anywhere.
Why does he have chains on him again? The last I knew he was an ally, yes?
Great, see? The bush remembers. But you're no longer a bush. It looks like you've shed your skin. Hello there, little lizard friend. Or as I heard through the bars, they call you the little dragon, and he winks at you.
Can I insight him? This is...
By through the bars, does he mean through the prison bars or like
Yeah.
the actual bars?
Through the prison bars.
Prison bars.
That's the DM saying this.
Right,
Yes.
because I was arrested at one point when they still thought I was a small dragon.
Yep.
I'm gonna insight him real quick.
Yes, of course.
Better than some of my other mental stats. Ooh.
Hmm.
My rolls tonight. God damn.
He smiles and he kind of bows to you as he's trying to show you great respect. It seems our paths cross again. It seems fate brings us together.
Yeah, what's
And it seems you have some new friends. And he looks over to the goblin and the warforged. Hello there, new bone collectors. I am Dev. We're going to be very well acquainted. I'll probably save your life like usual.
It's not what you said, Scritch. It's how you said it.
But I didn't mean to. You know, sometimes the hat gets to my head.
I get it.
Yeah, blame the hat.
And Dev just kind of like, ooh, must be bedtime. Couple's bickering.
Rask does not remember you saving the bone collectors.
Well, was I not a worthy fighter in that fight against those, what you call it, the Colt or whatever they were in the Ember Citadel? Without me, I'm sure they would have outflanked you.
He did destroy.
Rubik
quite a
only
bit
had
of
so
them.
many hands to throw people into the lava.
Rubik had 2 hands.
Yes,
Has
but
to.
he only had so much time and effort to throw people in. I had to help.
Rask is gonna look at Rubik. Rubik!
Rubik saved me. I mean, it was his idea, but he should just let me go out of the chains. I'm not going to run. I'm going to help. I am a friend and an ally, as the bush said.
But Rask saved you.
Yes, Rask saved me the first time. Wait, did you save me again? And he looks at you again, Rask.
We did not even know you were here.
He seems saddened by those words, as he just looks super sad. And,
I said Dev was here.
Oh?
Ivan said Dev was here earlier.
Yes, Ivan did see me, so he must... Ivan, you dirty dog. He looks around for him. He's not here. He does love me.
I face palm from across the town.
Nonetheless, though, I heard you need a navigator, and the best navigator that you could ever find across all of the seas is here to help you, and he's going to bow to all of you. Now, show me my navigating quarters. I'll need maps, I'll need ink, parchment, I'll need a good window from at least the north or south view.
Why is the best navigator in the land shackled to the Rubik?
That's a good question, Master Rubik. Why did you shackle me, and why can't you just release me? Why don't you tell everyone? He looks around.
How did you end up shackled again?
Lord Rubik insisted that I was shackled. Lord Rubik, can you please tell everyone why I'm shackled?
Definitely not muted this whole time.
Definitely not. Muted. I love
talking.
I know,
Like,
but he said it right at the comments. He's Lord Rubik.
conversation.
He's like, Lord Rubik, please tell them. Lord Rubik, please tell them. Rubik, you can tell them anytime. Rubik, please tell
I've
them.
totally been responding. Okay, it's fine. Rubik's just... I'll pull the cotton out of my ears. Oh, is Dev talking? I kick him in the back of the legs a little.
He falls to his knees as he's pretty weak. And he hits the ground kind of hard.
Oh
Why
no!
you must treat me so.
You've
he
fallen.
He kind of
tripped.
He kind of lays down on the ground as he's covered. Since he's in manacles, it's tough for him to get up. And he's just kind of laying on the wet ground, face down.
I grab him by like his hand manacles, like the chain part, and just continue walking, dragging him along.
Please get me off the floor, and he just pick him up, and he kind of looks at you, he's drenched wet, and he says, "Come on now, just take the chains off, Master Rubik, and I'll show you how loyal I am."
All right.
Rubik.
We have another crew member. Dev has apparently murdered his entire village. Dev's a murderer. He's been found guilty and will be... Basically, he'll be killed by like the town constable in several hours in the town square for being found guilty. So he's our prisoner. Strictly a prisoner. He's here to help us navigate and nothing more.
He's
And
a
also
murderer. Let's
Julia
put him
will be
on the
guarding
ship.
him.
Shall I
Rask
prepare
is
the
gonna
brig?
open his mouth and just like look at Rubik. Rask needs to talk with Rubik.
Yeah, I can.
I'm sure we
About possibly another crew.
should do this before sunrise. So if this motherfucker can serve his punishment, I'd rather leave him here.
No, now Rask, why would you talk about another crew? That's not part of the deal. You
Rask,
already saved
the
me.
word
You need
gag?
me.
The full crew. A full crew.
Rask, do you know the word gag? Like the object.
Rask
Here,
does not know the word gag. Does not
let
know
me-
the
let me-
object gag.
Let me show you. And I reach in my bag and I have
A dirty sock.
I have just a medium sack. I'd start tearing it into like strips and like shoving him in his mouth and then like tying it around his head.
He just accepts this and doesn't want to fight you, so he just kind of looks at everyone like, really? Like, really?
And I
And
tie it-
so you tie him up, and he's you can see he's still muttering stuff, but you can't hear him.
if anybody wishes to speak with him, he'll be in the navigator's quarters, which I look towards the little dragon. You know, I assume,
quarters. Oh, that's where the wheel is.
well, we need maps and a window.
I believe there are some quarters below, none of which are best for a prisoner, although the only secure area is currently filled with alcohol and explosives. Not the best to
Julia
keep a
will
prisoner
stay
in
with.
either.
Well, Julia will stay with him, and we can work on a locking of some kind, or
That reminds me, and Bashir will hand you a set of keys to all the stuff on the ship. These are to the various areas on the ship. Assumed what you having a set would be best. Scritch already has his.
Jack, do you forgive Scritch, or do you forgive Scritch for his bossiness?
Transgressions.
For the hat getting to his head.
Yes, the hat getting to his head.
Yes, but I still have a little bit of a grudge.
Okay, he kind of wants up, and he kind of looks at you like a little baby holding his arms up. Up, please.
Your privileges have been suspended.
No! Captain's not supposed to walk. Rask!
And he looks over. Rask, up!
Up, please!
Rask needs to talk to Rubik.
I talk too. Up, please!
Rask looks at Jack.
Privileges suspended.
Rask just shakes his head sadly.
No! And he falls to his knees as if he's dying, and just kind of falls defeated as he's just sitting there and like on his own ship, just crying. And he looks over at you, Carnes, and he's about to say it, but then stops and just looks super sad.
I hand the chains to Carnes. So if you could put him someplace, I'll deal with Rask, and then there's another crew member coming who's going to be also more interesting, and we'll get to that. But let me talk to Rask, and if you could put him in a place, I don't really right now.
You see that as you hand the chains over to Bashir, you see that Dev looks at you, Bashir, and he kind of gives you like a thumbs up and like smiles and nods at you, like he's like waving at you and very excited to see you, like glad that you're the one holding the chains and not Rubik.
Bashir is completely confused by a lot of the situation right now, so he's just like he believes Rubik and like all the murder stuff. He's just like, last time I was with Dev, he was on our side, but okay. So he'll just sort of like tentatively nod at Rubik and then motion for Julia to follow him down to the lower decks, and he'll probably will not be as rough, but he'll also keep Dev in front of him.
Keep the gag on him for.
I do not believe I could even get up to his mouth without crawling on him.
Dev just kind of laughs as you hear like a He's going to lean down and let you pull the gag out if you want.
I did not say I wish to.
And then he looks sad and just stands back up.
And yeah, I'll bring him down to the lower decks and find probably one of the more secure rooms that has the least amount of windows and only one exit.
The mid deck you wish to go to?
Yeah, probably. I guess like. I'd probably like hold him. Is there a lower deck?
Yeah, there's 3.
Yep, there's a third deck.
Okay, yeah, probably because there isn't really any good spot on this deck that I can see. So probably one more down. I don't think I saw much of the lowest deck.
Okay.
Oh,
Yep, I know it's blacked out. One moment.
Very dark.
Very dark.
Haven't lit any of the lanterns yet.
Super spook.
Extra spook.
Hey, there we go. Oh shit, we got a piano.
Lock him in the bathroom.
I was about to say, the bathroom seemed like a good spot.
Time around the toilet.
There's no windows.
There is actually a holding cell.
This thing right here?
Yep, that room.
Alright. Yeah, probably bring it, if it actually seems like it is a holding cell, I'd probably bring him in there.
Yep, you actually walk down there, and you see that the room is actually encased within a metal coating. It looks like they've built this room to be a holding cell, and very strong holding cell. The door is made of different material as well. All three of the doors that intersect in this hallway, the door that leads to the north of that room and to the east of that room, where those two chairs are also reinforced doors and walls that run along that hallway. So you could tell whatever they've had in there or whatever they've had to deal with, these silver scales make sure that any prisoner is very well taken care of.
Are there loops on the floor and walls to attach chains to?
Yes, there are, and you know exactly which keys to use. They're a smaller key, a brass key, and you can see there's actually just a little blanket on the floor.
Rubik only manacled his hands, right? Or did he get his legs
his
too?
hands twice and his feet once.
Hands twice and his feet once? Is
Correct.
there a loop on the floor?
There is a loop on the floor.
Sheer is going to wrap the chains around. So, like, the chain that he's dragging by, I assume is long enough to loop. If it's attached to his hands, loop around through his legs, or if it's attached to his legs, loop around through his whatever. Just sort of like make it so that his wrists are cinched up next to his ankles, and basically chain him to the floor. And then as he exits, he's going to lock the door behind him. And oh wow. Look over at Julia. Myself and Rubik are the only ones with keys to this room. If he needs something, grab one of us. For now, I wish to seek to the rest of the crew.
She's going to nod to you. Understood, my lord. And she's just going to stand right in front of the door with her arms crossed.
Yeah, then I'd probably head up to the secondary deck and like the mid deck and basically trying to introduce myself to the crew and get a stock of their skills, yada yada, while the rest of the people are trying to figure out the monetary side of things.
All right, the rest of you. The rest of you are on the top of the deck. Scritch and Jack, you're still up there. Jack, do you wish to go anywhere? Or do anything before they conversate?
I'm just gonna like rejoin the group, kind of.
Okay. Do you want to ask to join in the conversation, or do you just want to? Scritch is really the only one on top of the deck besides Free, and Nab, or Nob. I'm sorry.
Where did everyone else go? Down?
Bashir took Dev down below, and Julia went down below as well.
So like, Rubik and everyone else is still up top.
Rubik,
right?
Rubik, Rask, and Scritch are the only three up there. Scritch is staying near you. Rubik and Rask are about to go walk off and have a conversation, but you don't really know that unless you're going to follow them and ask, or follow them and kind of just like, obviously you don't know, so you're just kind of tagging along thinking they're going to go somewhere.
Yeah, I'm just gonna like walk around the deck, like survey the ship, basically.
Okay. Scritch is going to slowly follow behind you as he looks like a sad puppy.
I will pay no attention to him.
Rubik and Rask, you guys are staying there, and Vree looks to you both, and she says, I'll give you your space if you wish to have a private conversation, and she's going to get off the edge and go walk up on top of the upper deck there.
Well, what is it then?
Rask has spoken with the Silver Scales. They wish to... Rask gave them an option to purchase their ships back.
What's the goblin think of that?
Scritch has said if they can pay better, he will meet with them.
Okay, and you said something about a crew.
Rask nods and kind of scratches his cheek again. Rask has also asked they help man this ship, sail the ship.
Both are correct.
Nab eventually runs forward. My lords, those ones on the ship you told me to watch out for, they're coming now.
They are likely coming to talk about buying the ships back now.
There are 12 of them, my lord. I can count, as he smiles.
Which ones?
What do you mean?
What are they?
They were all wearing cloaks. I could not see who they were. I don't really know who they are, my lord. Not personally, anyways.
Well,
We need to get ready.
we have another prisoner coming.
That's fine.
As you guys are saying that, you eventually see Ivan appear through the fog with a young boy and a guard. The young boy's being carried by as the guard. It looks like he's thrown over his shoulders in manacles.
Ivan cannot carry anything to save his life.
Correct.
Ivan,
He's afraid.
what did
He's
you
afraid
do
of
to
breaking people.
Even his own bag.
Ivan, what did you do to the poor boy? He was fine we left him. Just a little blood in the mouth.
He wasn't able to calm his emotions, so he knocked out.
Rask looks impressed. Ivan punched a boy unconscious?
Oh, no. He's got some sort of... He can't speak about something or he hurts himself. I think it's tied with Dev.
Tying him.
Ivan is not responsible.
I could have been, but I was not.
So Ivan can punch someone
But I
unconscious.
assure you, I can beat up a child? Sounds bad.
Someone should clip that.
You see, Your Honor, this man should not be out in public.
Well, all right, and we're waiting for one more, and also some more, and the boy doesn't like Dev. We have to keep them away from each other. Dev killed his whole family, his whole town, his father, his parents, his brothers, his sisters, and all this. The boy's quite angry.
Actually,
busy. Use that.
From what the squad's telling me, they sent wardens out there, and the wardens came back with reports that saying his family was alive. It's only his wife who was dead.
It's true, my lord. The boy grieves because his wife died in childbirth, and they both were lost, my lord. He grieves. He goes mad, my lord.
I don't know why he speaks of his whole family dying.
The boy goes as far as saying the entire farming village was killed. That would be over 30 to 40 people.
Well, a little more madness isn't gonna hurt.
We need to sort this ship's matter out first.
Yeah, let's put him in a bed somewhere and lock him up too. Hey, counting goblin.
Yes, my lord. I am actually a hobgoblin. My name is Nob at your service. Nob Gob at your service.
Not gob.
Counting Goblin sounds better, right?
Counting goblin.
You can call me by my father's name, Quaz, if you wish. It's an honorable hobgoblin warrior name.
Sounds
and he's going to bow to you to hope that you give him the name Quaz.
The Count. You shall guard this boy. If he awakens and is mad with rage, call for help.
Aye, my lord.
You don't, and you don't have to count. You just have to call for help. You know, you don't have to count to like 10. You just do it
Should
right
I use
away.
restraint, or should I? Where should I put him? Or if he tries to run away, what should I do?
Call for help.
Aye, my lord, I will. And he's going to bow to you again, as he understands your orders very clearly. And he's going to take the chains and he's going to hold them with all of his might.
Shackle him to a bed, I guess.
Aye, my lord. I'll take him downstairs where the others sleep. We'll all keep an eye on him. And he's going to thank the guard, and you see that the hobgoblin's trying to pick the boy up, but it is very difficult. He's dropping the boy, he's dragging him. It's not looking good. But the hobgoblin is not asking for help.
Yeah, he's fine.
He's fine.
He's got it.
He's hard working. He's fine.
Ivan will help him. Can I-
Yes, you can.
Okay, all right. I don't want to roll myself.
Rask will help him put him on his shoulders properly.
The hobgoblin being way too small, or about the size of the boy, actually tries, or a little bit bigger than the boy, tries picking up the boy again, and is having some troubles, and is kind of like is stooping down, and you can see that he's kind of using the side of the railing going down the stairs as like a slide, and just sliding the boy down to the bottom, and eventually you hear like a plop.
Oh, we got him! Come on!
And
around the corner, don't hit his head! Don't hit his head!
You grab his feet finally, and you help him down below, and then you chain him to one of the beds in the barracks, and you see all the other members are actually still sleeping of the new crew. They actually are all still slumbering, besides Nob, or hopefully the Count is what nicknamed him.
I will make sure his manacles are secured to the floor or the wall. That's very secure. Something that's very heavy. I'm not sure what's around there exactly, so can I do a perception?
Yes.
16.
You look and you notice that they're bunk beds, and they're actually bolted down through the floor to not move at all. All the furniture in this ship looks very well maintained, and looks like this ship, like it looks like everything was built purposefully in the ship and very well crafted. You can see that if you undid the manacles and then wrapped him around the leg once of one of these bunk beds, he's not going anywhere.
All right. Well, I will do one, and I will do one on his arm and go above the top one, and one on his leg and go around the bottom one.
Okay, you do so. And he wakes up, and when he does this, he starts struggling, and he starts freaking out. Nob is actually going to punch him in the side of the head. Don't move, you!
No.
Help!
It wasn't.
Help!
He's not going. Stop! I'm right here. I'm here.
Do we hear this upstairs?
You all hear this. Do you wish to run downstairs?
Yeah.
Bashir would run into that, yeah.
God damn it.
Rask, do you wish to follow? So, Jack, do you wish to follow so as well?
Rask will not follow. He's gonna try and grab Rubik, but he's gonna miss.
Okay. You try reaching for Rubik, who is just scuttled through. It's just so fast. He runs just down below. And, Jack, do you wish to go down below?
Yeah.
Okay, Jack and Bashir, you after you're like making your way up, you actually hear this noise and run towards Nob screaming. And Ivan, you yell at Nob as you say, "I'm right here!" And Nob bashfully blushes as you all rush, and you all are kind of like now met in the doorway of the barracks as all the new members wake up now in a roar of Nob screaming and panicking. And the boy now has a giant black eye, and he's looking at all of you as he's just scared and frantic.
Everything's fine.
Who is this boy?
This boy's a troublemaker, Nob points. He tried hitting my lord.
He didn't. Nob. No.
Good job, the Count.
Bashir's gonna skitter.
Nob bows to you, Rubik, as you say.
Bashir's gonna skitter up to this boy's feet and just sort of like stare up at him and try and get a sense of him.
The boy looks down at you as he's trying to gauge a good view. He's trying to gauge his business. He just got punched in the side of the face as soon as he woke up from getting punched in the gut before.
This boy is not doing super well.
No, and he's gonna stare at you, Bashir, and he says, "What are you? Some sort of devil? Are you with Dev? I'll kill you!" And he starts choking as he's about to say those words, and he coughs up some more blood.
Will you stop? Do you not realize that hurts? We can talk about other things.
I won't stop until I kill.
You're going to kill yourself in the process.
Boy, if you wish, I will tell you that Dev is currently locked in an area where he cannot harm anyone, and he is a lot more uncomfortable than you will ever be.
Good. Then give me a sword.
Unfortunately, there is no way to get into where he is. His guard does not even have the key, and there is no exit.
Who's in charge here? I need to talk to him now. And
Just-
he's actually sweating. He looks like he's sweating up a good storm, as if he's getting a fever.
I believe you've already met with Rubik.
And he looks at you, Rubik, and he's starting to get cross-eyed. Release me now, and I will kill that bastard. And you see him choke up some more blood, and he passes out again from the pain.
Can somebody go get Rask, please? And I'll pull out my bag and begin to tend to his wounds.
Okay. Nob is going to, he's actually going to clean off the blood from his mouth with a rag, and he says, "Calm down, boy. Now I feel bad that I punched him.
Oh, now you want to be helpful.
I have always wanted to be helpful, my lord.
Well, the calling all... I was right here the whole time.
But Lord Rubik said to call if the boy was to awake or cause a stir."
And you did. You didn't have to...
Good.
I want to have
And,
this. I want to have this guy and Rask have a long, deep conversation.
Yeah, you see Nob just you see that he doesn't understand anything else but orders. You can see as a hobgoblin, he does not want to disobey. So after that, everything's kind of calmed down, and you guys are all kind of still standing around. It's just quiet now. Jack, Bashir, or Rubik, do you guys want to say anything or add anything to the conversation?
I look over to the count and I said, you have experience on a ship, you said.
A fishing vessel, and only because I needed to get across the river, and then I had to work for my debt to pay it off. So about 2 months, I would say, of fishing.
Well, when the boy comes to, explain the basics to him. If he's going to be working for us, he's going to be useful.
He'll be working the deck then in sails.
Just maybe some basic knots, maybe whatever you think is easiest to start, and we'll go from
That
there.
is what will be necessary on a ship this large. The sails will be a task in themselves.
Yes. Well, perhaps the hard work that would tire most people out the most, scrubbing the deck or doing.
Of course, he smiles. The grunt work.
Yeah,
And
the
he's
grunt work.
the
That's
boy.
a good way. He's got a lot of energy. You gotta wear him down.
Of course, my lord. All the new members are waking up now and slowly getting out of bed as they're slowly changing into their adventuring gear. You actually see the Kenku Beekman walk forward. My lord, good morning. He's going to bow to you, Rubik. Are we to set sail now? It is morning. The sun is rising through the storm clouds. It is a good sign.
Everybody, you should all introduce yourselves and get acquainted. I have to just. I don't know. Wait for your captain to give you orders. I'm gonna turn around and walk away.
Okay, Rubik, you head back up. I'm assuming to Rask.
Yeah.
Okay. Jack, do you wish to do anything or say anything?
Noticing that the situation has been de-escalated, I guess I'll go back up and just
Okay,
walk around.
you actually see that Ilsa is standing right behind you as you turn around, and she kind of looks up at you. Hello there.
Christ!
Sorry, I didn't mean to bother you, but when all the shouting happened and I saw you, I just found myself standing behind you, cowering behind you, and she kind of seems embarrassed.
Oh.
I must have... I've done too much, and she's going to be... She's very upset about it, and she kind of runs over towards her bed and just kind of sits down.
Don't freak out.
It's okay. It spooked me.
And she doesn't say anything. She just seems sad still.
I'm gonna pat her on the shoulder and sit down next to her.
And you see that she looks up at you and she says, "Are you sure, my lord? I did not mean to frighten you."
Yes, I'm sure. It's just I wasn't expecting a little girl to be right behind me.
I am no little girl, and she kind of looks at you angrily, but like forgives you, and she smiles.
Well, I mean, little to me.
I am a woman. I am a halfling, and she just kind of raises her nose, her pointy nose proudly, and then she gets shy again. But of course, I am little to you, I suppose. And she kind of pokes her two index fingers together nervously. Forgive me, and she smiles. We should get acquainted with everyone, as the Lord said.
Yes, you should meet the others on the ship.
She's going to get her things, and you see all the newcomers are going to follow you up. Bashir, do you wish to say anything as everyone's kind of gathering their things, and you can see Jack is talking to Ilsa?
Bashir, once he sees everybody getting their stuff together, he's just going to look at everyone. Well, I was preparing to speak with each of you when we all woke, but this seems to be as good of a time as ever. I was hoping to get a stock of all of your skills in which to figure out where you are best suited on the ship.
They all kind of look at each other, and you see that they're all just kind of staring at one another as they don't really know what to say or what even that kind of like none of them have experience on a ship. And Beekman steps forward and says, "My lord, the only one that has experience is the hobgoblin. All of us have never been on a ship."
And neither have I, yet we all must work on the ship together. Your skills might not be in particular to ships, but you might have skills useful.
I'm a terrific singer. You see Beekman kind of smiles.
How is your eyesight?
It is terrific, my lord, especially at night.
Then you will be our night watch to be certain that no ships approach us.
Of course, man.
With your voice, you can alert us all.
Oh, well, thank you. He smiles
He
takes great pride in that you say with his voice, as he takes like kind of like he's like, oh yeah, my voice can alert the crew and save everyone. Just kind of just almost like bragging rights now.
Basically, I go down the line with them and try and see what they can actually do.
Okay, so you start talking to some of the people and some of the new members to try to get a better glimpse of what their abilities are, what they can do.
Yeah.
Do you wish to follow them up as well as they're following Jack to go meet everybody else?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, there's no point in sitting down one by one.
You and Beekman are really talking kind of quite a bit, and he's just telling you all of his skills and abilities. He's telling you that the crow's nest might be a good position for him if that's a viable option. Then, as you guys are all walking up and getting ready to go,
I'd like to heal the boy real quick.
Wolfgang's mic is no longer transmitting.
Can you hear me?
Oh, there it goes. You
Oh,
cut out.
So Jack and Bashir are going to go up with everybody, and you want to try to heal the boy?
Yes, please.
Okay.
While all that was going on, could I have used my prepare stable compound to ritual cast enhance ability on myself?
Yes, you can.
I want to do that for wisdom checks, and then I would like to use my medical kit to attempt to do a medicine check with the boy. Dirty. Yeah. I don't know why I rolled. No, it's not perception. It's one after that. It's medicine check.
You could tell that the boy's in pretty bad health. He's lost a lot of blood. He's very weak. You could tell just a lot of rest. He's going to need a lot of attention, and he's also looks like he's going to start getting a fever soon.
All right. Well, I will take time and I will ritual lesser restoration and cure wounds, and I'll do that until he's full health, and then I will just try to make him comfortable. I'll get him fluids and
Okay.
whatnot, and try to get him to drink something.
Okay, so you're just gonna take care of the boy.
Yeah, for now. Just make sure he's good, and then when he's good, I'll be able to go do other things.
Okay. So everybody else leaves, and you kind of stay down there with him. And besides Nob, who's going to guard him as well, he just kind of stands by your side, and he's watching you. He's kind of observing what your skills and abilities, and he's very impressed. The rest of you go up above. Bashir and Jack. Rubik, you're already up above though, and you've already met up back up with Rask, who's just kind of staying there doing what?
We are conversing. Rask is just like racking his brain to try and figure out how to get this to work.
All right, Rubik, you see Rask in deep thought.
So, we need to tell the Silver Scale if they're going to get the ships back or buy them back or take on the service or take our offer of them coming on to service this ship. And I don't know. The Goblin likes cool shit that doesn't really mean anything. We need something spectacular.
Does not know how to get
Cool shit.
No, Rask does not know how to get whatever this cool shit is. But Alton, the other captain, does not like Scritch, and Scritch does not like the Silver Scales. But Scritch has agreed to sell the ships if they can pay more.
I mean, when I had talked to Scritch, we had kind of talked about him just giving the ships to the wardens to like advance his legend or his renown and gain favor with the wardens.
And now we have people willing to buy.
So the offer, I suppose, the offer to buy the ships, I suppose coin won't be enough. He's going to want jewelry and the like, and shiny baubles, and maybe a captain's jacket to go with with some gold inlay. And like, I'm just saying that numbers may not mean a lot to Scritch, but if he sees shiny, right. So anyhow, they could offer 1 gold and Scritch would take it because he was giving him to free to the wardens.
Does Scritch know that?
Scritch?
Scritch sounded like he thought he was selling them.
Oh. Well, I thought he was giving them to the wardens.
Rask does not know how much these ships are worth. Rask does not know how much this fleet is worth.
Perhaps a trade for something else?
But they are on their way here. The Count? I asked the Count to watch the other ship, and that was what he was saying earlier. They should be here any moment.
As you guys are just saying that, you see that there are 12 silver cloaked figures walking down the docks, walking right towards your plank, your bridge to go to the ship, and he's just kind of standing there. And you see before Alton actually steps foot, he's waiting to see one of you like approach and talk. As the rest of you are now boarding the top of the deck and all the new members, and it's kind of an awkward time. Everyone's kind of all your members are actually walking onto the ship, and all of the Silver Scales are now here to discuss.
Well, let's go. Why don't you come aboard? We'll have a seat and talk this out. We'll have to gather the council.
Rask thinks that you and Ivan would be best for handling this.
I don't disagree, although these are Scritch's boats.
That Scritch has agreed. Is this sarcasm?
Oh, no, no. Ivan, you hear this, Scritch hears this, and so does Jack and Bashir, as you hear Rask say, "Is this sarcasm?"
5 hands slap their foreheads.
Or
It's not-
Bashir wasn't there last time.
Bashir looks on confused.
Scritch kind of walks over and says,
Jack, am I still provoked?
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 Your thing.
I think the word you're looking for is provocative.
Am I still provocative?
No, and you never were.
Let me wrap your shoulder then.
he smiles and he puts his arms up again like a little baby.
Nope.
I'm no longer provocative.
Revoked.
Oh, provoked. Ha ha ha. That's the word. I was just joking with you.
Scritch, is it okay if I sell your boats?
I thought we have one boat.
Okay.
Oh.
Jesus Christ, I didn't even know how many boats he had.
No, he
Don't
knows.
say that.
He knew. He would know
This
because I
is
gave
my
him all
boat.
the stuff.
My
I gave
boat
him all
with
the
big hat.
cards.
And he's going to move his hat around.
All ships are gone. I thought Warden have.
You haven't signed the paperwork yet.
Oh. Well, let's sign paperwork.
But
Not
but
in
we
rain,
might,
though.
but maybe we get gold and good crew, so we no die on ocean. We save your ship. We have good crew. Make ship go fast. Honor skirt, fast ship.
Roll persuasion check. And any of you want to help, you can speak now. Forever hold your peace.
That silver scales would make good ship crew. They know how to sail a ship.
To be honest, I do not know how many we need, but I am quite certain we need more than what we have.
I
They all
will.
have to accept Skirt as their new savior.
Oh, hold on.
It's a prerequisite for entering the ship.
Almost have.
Come on. That's still not bad.
I rolled a 23. Rubik got 18.
I didn't. I'll roll for. Fuck it.
5.
Solid.
Yeah, that's not bad for one of my rolls.
Scritch
That's
looks at
actually
all of you and says,
That's fine. Do whatever you
Skirt,
think.
skirt.
Skirt.
and he raises his hands and he says,
Jack, up.
Still revoked.
"Oh!" And he falls over and just dies.
He dies.
He just dies. All right.
Pretends to die.
Scritch.
Yes.
Did you go to the tallest place in town? You look up. You can go up there and see the world. And I point up to the crow's nest.
The world. Okay.
And he just starts climbing the ladder to go up to the crow's nest.
We should hurry before he comes back down.
Turn to like the silver scale. Shall we? And I kind of motion towards the ship area.
Okay. He nods. Do you want to go to the meeting room, on the top deck there?
Yeah.
Rask will go fetch Ivan. He says this out loud. Rask will go fetch Ivan. Rubik.
That's yes. You gather the council. I wink, and then
Okay,
Also-
Rask is gonna hurry away.
Do you only want to grab Ivan, or do you want to grab Jack and Carnes as well? Leave Scritch into the crow's nest?
Rask will only grab Ivan. No, he'll grab Ivan and Bashir, and then kind of look at Jack, and then look at Screech up in their crow's nest, and then back at Jack. Questioningly.
Give it a
We'll-
thumbs up.
Okay.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
All right.
Someone's got
All
to
right.
catch him.
Oh God, are we just gonna hear the sound of something whistling through the air at some point? Ivan, who? We need. Who? Who? Oh, the boy. But we need to talk.
So you guys are in the room first. You see the silver scales are boarding, and they're all taking their seats as well.
Yeah. Okay. Rask will probably go back out to walk with them back in. Can we tell who they are now that they're boarding?
Yes, you can see that they're all taking the three members take their seats. Captain Alton and the two Jedi sons, and the other 9 members are just standing around, and you can actually see Marco is one of them, and he actually bows and waves to you, Rask, because he's excited to see you again.
Rask bows back, and like, I guess hurries back over to them. To the bone collector side.
Okay.
To, I guess, stand behind Rubik.
Okay.
Is there somewhere where Bashir can like stand or sit, where you can actually see above the chairs and all that?
I mean,
Do you want to take a seat, Bashir, or do you want to stand?
He would stand if he could see, but if there's somewhere where you could sit, where he could actually see better, he'd probably go there. Just
you
to
could
be
probably
you have a
sit on
seat
the table behind me.
What is that?
Luckily, we have a
Or-
phone book of +3.
You could either sit right at the table, which there's plenty of seats, or you could stand on the table. There's a big long table behind Rask that you can stand on.
I'll sit at the table if there's enough seats.
Oh yeah, there's one right next to Rubik. The other, as I said before, there's only 3 of them sitting down at the other end. The rest of them are standing, all down here.
Yeah, I'd probably sit at the table just because if I stand, I wouldn't be visible.
So what brings us all together is I kind of look back towards like Rubik and Rask's and back here.
Well, we're selling some ships, and we're trying to talk about getting some crew, some professionals that actually we won't all drown.
Oh,
And
yes.
I think it'll work out for the best of us. Obviously, we have a mission to complete, which takes precedence. We have a ship that we'd like to keep in our possession for the time, and a bunch of other ships that they would rightfully like to keep in their possession to keep their business going. Everybody paid, everybody's happy. That sounds like what we're here to talk about. Look towards like the captain of the Silver Scales.
Lord Alton just kind of nods his head very, very lightly and just kind of closes his eyes and then opens them back up and stares at you directly again. Go on.
Propose to sell you 11 ships, and keeping this one that we're currently on. And also, we would like to hire a crew for this ship, preferably the hardy type. They will obviously not be mistreated in any way. They will be a full crew with full pay, but we just ask that they be loyal and perhaps pretty hardy. We do not know the northern waters.
Hold on,
What is
Rubik.
there?
Ferrum. Can you
You're
try leaving and
unfamiliar
rejoin?
with
Your
the way
robot
the,
is really
the
hard.
all may live.
Yeah.
Come back.
Please come back.
Say something.
Don't mute yourself again.
Oh God, not this.
Oh no. Okay. Yes. No. Say something. Rubik.
Rubik.
Daniel-san.
Oh.
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
I saw green.
Better.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, no. Keep saying.
Maybe.
Nope, you're
lots
just-
of words, long sentences, strings of words.
Okay, that's better. That works. Not that's worse. You're good. Talk.
Okay. We want a crew at a fair wage to come with us so that we all may survive. Hardy knows the ship, knows the waters, and we'll get proper pay and otherwise the benefits that would normally befit the silver scales in their employ. Also selling the ships. I know not what they're worth. I'm not a merchant. You are. And I don't wish to be cheated. I also don't wish to go without. I don't know.
Rask asks that you be fair. That is the least Rask can ask of his friends.
I agree.
Both of you roll persuasion checks. As you see during this whole thing, Lord Alton or Captain Alton hasn't flinched or moved an inch really.
I'm gonna use an inspiration point.
Okay.
Can I roll an investigation to I just want to
Okay.
visually scan their crew. And
You
see if
can
they
do
have
that.
any changes in. Okay.
Can I try an insight to see how the general mood of the crew to this request?
Yes, you can.
Okay, so Rask rolled a 28 for persuasion. Rubik got a 24 for persuasion. Ivan is 20 for
Investigation.
investigation, and Bashir is 11 for insight.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay.
So you Rask and Rubik, you see that Lord Alton hears what you have to say, and you see that one of the gnome sons leans in and begins to start whispering to him. Then he's going to wave his hand back and wave two fingers forward. As you see Marco and another member of the crew step forward on each side of him, and he's going to whisper to both of them. You see that they're all talking for a moment, whispering back and forth. And at this point, Ivan, you look around and you start to inspect the crew while they're discussing the what Rubik and Rask have just laid out before them. As you look around their crew, you can see that they're all wearing silver cloaks, kind of all still with their hoods up. The rain's still dripping off of them onto the wooden floor that is the deck of this nice meeting room that you guys have here. And none of them really seem to be different or odd. The only one really showing his true face and form is the full orc that stands also directly behind him, leaning forward.
The one that we've already had some verbal run-ins with.
Correct.
already.
Yeah.
Okay.
The one that does not like Rask.
Yeah.
Calls Rask a traitor.
Okay. I'm just gonna kind of keep my eye somewhat on him, but still not all my focus on him.
Okay.
I'll keep panning.
As that's going on, Bashir, you can still see the crew seems kind of sad and down that their captain, their Jemai Gerard, their original captain, is gone. It seems they don't seem high of spirits. They actually seem kind of down, Lord, of more of a lower morale, if you will.
Okay.
And tensions feel high, as you can see. Lord or Captain Alton seems like he's repressing quite a bit of anger and feelings right now, and he's as they're whispering, he eventually says, "That is enough!" And he smacks the table as they're all stopped talking. And you can see Marco was just kind of just saying something and was just silenced at that very moment. "We have heard your terms. If you wish for us to give you a price of the ships, each ship within the line costs a different price, for it is valued differently and has been adjusted to according. We would have to adjust each ship and tell you a different price, of course, and we would have to come up with that list after judging the paperwork, which we still have in our own verification. So give us time, and we will give you our set price. As for a crew, we will give you 6 men, and for that, you will give us all 11 ships." you'll get 6 of my finest men.
Plus the price of the ships.
No,
You're saying
the ships,
your offer, obviously they have.
the ships for the men. And if I have to repeat myself, I will walk away from this table now, as he stands. And you see one of the halflings tries to stop him, and he says, "I will walk!" And he snaps his hand on the table. "If I so as much see that goblin, I swear, I will also leave. You're lucky I'm here, dwarf. That is all I must say to you."
I think the goblin would rather scuttle your ships than to see them back in your possession. I'm sure your guild will approve of your actions at this table.
"6 men, 11 ships," and he's going to walk out of the room. You see the rest of his men are kind of about to stop him, but they obey and they bow. And the halflings both bow to you guys, and you see that Marco is going to walk over to you, Rask, and he says, "If you do decide, I promise you, Rask, I would be one of those 6, and I swear this is a deal that you would want. You will not cross the Great Sea with the crew you have. It is death."
How about any man of your crew that wishes to join us? We will give them each individually their own ship.
None of them flinched to your offer. They are very loyal to their cause of the Silver Scale. Marco looks at you and he says, "Unfortunately, it seems that we are at an impasse."
Well,
good luck, my friend. And he's going to shake your hand. Ask to shake your hand, Rask. You see, he puts his hand out. As
Rask
Lord Alton
kinda-
has already gone.
Rask kind of looks really sad, and he takes Marco's hand, but he's going to say, "If you can get 10 men, how many do we need to sail the ship?"
All you would need is me. He kind of seems cocky at that. No, to be honest, 6 is all you would need. 6 of the men that he speaks of are all you would need. Well, 6 of the finest sailors is all you would need. One of them, including me. I guarantee you, we would get us 6, including the men you already have, would get you safely across the Great Sea, as long as everyone listens to our advice and heeds our word.
Have you ever made the journey to Faerun before?
We've gone to Faerun several times, my friend. More than you can count.
I can count quite high.
He smiles.
More so than we have a guy who's pretty famous on the ship for counting, and I count higher than he can.
He hears his name being called, but he knows his post is near the boy.
He's a good
No,
ears.
you see that Marco looks to you, Rubik, and he says, "Trust me, my lord. This bargain is a deal. You will get your ship safely there, and the silver scale will be in your debt. Consider it that. The silver scales will speak great tales of the bone collectors and their mercy. In fact, they would reward you for such as soon as you returned to Faerun and ever came to the Grand Guild House in Waterdeep. I'm sure the great lords, the 3 families, would pay you handsomely afterwards, even if Lord Alton did not pay you himself."
Well, if this deal is as you say, and we only need the 6 men, does that include a navigator?
No, they would need their navigator. And you actually see he seems sad as he would be separated from their navigator, and that's the woman he loves.
Well,
She must stay with the main ship at all times.
Well, if we were also to take this deal, and especially if it does not come with a navigator, we will happily turn over the paperwork and the documents of ownership to you on arrival in Faerun, so that we can. I don't question you so much. You seem like an honest enough folk, but I don't know the other crew, and I would ask for their loyalty in turn. That payment on delivery kind of deal.
Well, if Lord Alton was to command 5 others, including myself, making that 6 to join your crew for the time being to get you safely to Faerun, that it was our task, and we will not stray from it. We swear an oath to the Silver Scale.
Unfortunately, from my experiences, many oaths can be broken, even by those who you might think are the loyalist.
Unfortunately, breaking this oath would curse you no matter which land you walk, this or the next. It's an oath
Yet
there not many break.
Yet many times I have seen broken, cursed men.
Rubik. So we will take their offer if they can provide with us. Possibly if they can also provide a navigator.
They seem to only want the ships that we have no use for. I do not see why we need more than this.
You would get 4 shipwrights, a head shipwright, and then you would get a not the quartermaster, that's Karn or Bashir. You would get a deck master, which is basically like someone who knows how to offensively and defensively run a ship.
Okay. Rask doesn't really trust our current crew, the new crew rather, to listen properly.
I assure you, just the 5 of me and the 4 other the 4 other shipwrights and the master shipwright are the 3 other shipwrights and the master shipwright and I could handle the rest of the ship of running it and teach the others of how to as well.
Fine.
The deck master can teach the others how to be soldiers and how to work this ship, how to fire it, how to control the combat when time comes.
Fine.
Fine, done. We're
Payment with the caveat that payment on delivery, and we will turn that over to, I assume, you, being in charge of the crew of 6.
He smiles and he says, "Thank you, my lord. You will not regret this. I will tell Lord Alton."
And we ask that your navigator come and question our navigator, as he is of questionable quality, and to give him a thorough test.
I can test him, my lord, myself, as you see Marco steps forward. I assure you, I know the questions, and I know exactly what a navigator needs to know.
So then, please don't judge us based on our choice of navigator. He may or may not be in chains.
He is. I can.
Is he a slave?
No, he's not. No slaves here.
Nope.
No slaves here. I look at Rask.
sarcasm.
No slaves.
Definitely not sarcasm.
Again,
not-
Shear's just looking
not
around like,
slave.
what the fuck?
No, prisoner. He's not necessarily. He not just. He should stay in chains. It's for the good of the world.
Then I will go and speak to him, if someone may escort me to your chained friend.
Yeah.
He looks to you. He looks to you, Rask, hoping that you will escort him there.
Yes, perhaps you should
Alton
talk
first.
to your captain before he goes.
Oh,
and
yes.
looks
I'm
up.
sorry. I get very serious about my position. Of course, I will go speak to my lord and see if he will strike the deal, since that was his wager. Please give me one moment. And he's going to run off as he tries to get as fast or catch him to him as fast as he can, and stop Lord Alton so he could discuss the terms of what you spoke of. So you guys are all now sitting in this room, but kind of quietly now, as you can still hear the rain kind of trickling down onto the roof, and the sun is now gleaming through the glass windows.
Is it just us, or the rest of the Silver Scales still?
It is just the 4 of you. The rest of the Silver Scales had followed Lord Alton out of the ship, and you can see that they've actually already left the ship. They're already off.
Rask is gonna turn to Rubik and just look slightly apprehensive. Rask will offer enough gold to look like they paid to Scritch, at least a bag of gold.
Just something shiny. I'm sure he'll
Something
be happy.
shiny.
I reach around. I dig around in. What did Dev have? Did he have any gems or anything?
Good, yes.
You see that Dev's actually got a bunch of silver. There's some gold. There's actually a nice platinum plate, like a platinum tray for serving food. There's a nice brass candlestick. There's some nice earrings. There's some jewelry.
Ooh, what kind of jewelry?
Like rings, necklaces. There's actually some really beautiful bracelets.
I just We just pick out the most gaudy looking ones of them all.
Okay, you could definitely see this as some very old treasure from a human kingdom long ago, and you pull out a very old looking bracelet.
Is this magical?
Are you asking me?
I'm asking Ivan.
Detect magic.
Don't want to give him another nuke.
Yeah.
No, it's not actually. I'm not sensing anything from it. But while that's up, I mean, I could tell anything within 30 feet of me.
You could tell the
tell
two.
the
You could tell the
school of
two
magic.
short swords that Dev is using are magical.
We
You know,
knew that.
what's the school of magic on that?
You can see that one of them is illusion, and the other one is whatchamacallit?
Enchantment.
Arcane.
Hmm?
Enchantment.
Or not arcane,
There's
Enchantment,
conjuration, necromancy, evocation, abjuration, transmutation.
abjuration, thank you. It was A.
Abjuration.
All I could tell is that his swords are. Nothing else amongst his belongings are magical, at least.
Rask is gonna fish out stuff from his pack. Rask has a sapphire?
I have this ruby dagger that I never really used.
This is going to Scritch.
We just
Yeah, that's fine. I never.
we just
used
keep a. We just get like a one of everything. Like if he's got like 10 rings, we give him like 10 rings. We get like a necklace, a bracelet for both hands. Like just be like this is the
God.
captain's jewelry set.
This is what captains wear.
Yeah,
This
this
is-
is just what captains wear.
Perfect.
I'm happy we could settle on something like this, though. We had zero need for any more than this ship. Honestly don't think we even need this ship.
Bashir does not think
done.
that we would be able to get our trip done without a ship.
Well, we don't need it in our possession.
Rask
are we going to
does
do when
not
we're done?
think Scritch would have accepted losing all ships.
I wish we never gained it in the first place.
Rask agrees.
I look around. Those guys are like long gone, right? We heard them all walk away.
Yeah. They're off the ship. It's just us
Correct.
I don't know if we should tell Scritch this, but I don't know why Jay always happens to. Scritch still owns land in favor.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
They didn't trade for the land. They only traded for the ships.
Yeah.
Or for the fleets, I should say. And part of that was land. They asked for 11 ships.
Scritch
Rask
would
believes
know
that
of
they
the
will come
land.
back with this in writing.
Do we have the documentation for that?
Scritch has already given the rights of ownership to. Bashir has already given Scritch the rights of ownership that he found in the office. They are his, to be honest.
Yes, I just like to look them over. I'm sure Scritch will let me.
Yes, if you find him. I believe he is up in the crow's nest, hopefully still. Not...
I can wait till we're on our travels. I don't want to see. I don't want to cause anything unnecessary.
Bashir would like to have that's one person they spoke of with the combat training. While I am equivalent with a bow, the siege equipment is not much that I know of.
Is anybody else exhausted?
Bashir has
Rask
not
is
slept
not
in
slept.
days.
Are you saying something,
Rask
Rask?
Rask is also exhausted, but we'll go out and check for Marco.
Bashir,
Marco is the one that we spoke to. Rask offers. I don't think they ever actually got introduced to him.
We should get the papers back from the goblin, and we'll give him this. And I don't really have a sack to put this all in, but I take a length of rope and I like put it through all the rings and everything, and like a big chain of jewelry and shit.
Bashir will go get to the boy and acquire the rights for the ships. Hopefully, he will not be so childish about this instance.
Here, give him. Don't forget the ching ching ching.
Yes, he's gonna like wink as he says this. Sort of like the captain's jewels.
The goblin pimp artifacts.
Don't be afraid to tempt him with food either.
I love how you guys are just discussing how to just quench him for a moment.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
It's like throwing a dog a bone just to distract him for a moment of time.
Bashir
So
has
as you guys are
walked away.
speaking,
Yeah, no, sorry,
as you
go
guys
ahead.
are speaking, Jack, you see that all the silver scales leave in quite a hurry, and after a moment of time, you see Scritches up top, and you can see he's kind of singing a song of some sorts, and you can't really understand it. It sounds very mumbly, and you see Marco eventually follow shortly after as he's running off with a big smile on his face. As he's running, you eventually see that he stops, and on the ship, you see that there's a cloaked figure standing there in front of Marco, not wearing a silver cloak though.
Jack.
Eric.
Jack.
What?
It's your turn.
Man. I'm just trying to keep Scritch away from that guy.
Alton's gone. But did you catch what Wolfgang said?
No, I didn't. It was like all mumbly.
Okay. Do you want to say it again, Wolfgang?
I said when you are standing outside watching Scritch balancing up on the mast above you, singing a weird song. You see that Lord Alton and the rest of the Silver Scales leave, as well as Marco shortly after with a big smile on his face, chasing after them to seeming eager to go talk or eager to leave. And shortly after, as he's running past you in the mast that you're on the opposite side of you, you see that on the deck there is a cloaked figure standing in his way.
Like how far away? Like from me?
He looks about 30 feet, I think.
And where is
40 feet.
Where is Marco?
Standing right in front of him.
Oh, standing right in front of the cloak figure.
Yeah, he kind of ran into him almost.
So,
Excuse me, sir.
I was just say, like, Marco doesn't know who he is, right?
Correct. He doesn't know who this gentleman is. He thinks he is a part of your crew.
Okay, I'll walk over there.
You walk over, and when you do, you see that the figure standing in Marco's way. Excuse me, my lord, if you don't mind moving. And the gentleman's gonna. You see that the cloaked figure's gonna move out of Marco's way as Marco quickly rushes down the gangplank, and the cloaked figure is now going to look at you, and he's gonna kind of smile.
Like what?
You're a new member of the Bone Collectors.
Is he like a human, or I can't really tell? Like what race is he?
You can see that underneath the cloak that there's some sort of weird snout, like a lizard snout. It looks like,
Oh, so like one of Rask's kind.
but it is red.
And you are?
He's going to remove his hood, and he says, "I am Balthazar, a member of the Bone Collectors, and here to help."
Okay, I remember Balthazar, but I don't remember what from.
He was
Jack.
saved by Sorthal.
I was gonna say Jack doesn't remember. Oh yeah, he's that guy that was in the.
He's the Dragonborn that was saved.
Yeah. Okay. I was gonna say
behind-
I remember him from Coin, but not.
Yep. Yes,
Okay.
exactly. That's why he doesn't know who you are either.
Yeah.
Behind him, you actually see a a few other members, actually, a few other people in cloaks that since they're wearing rain cloaks.
And you're here to help us with.
We were sent here by Lord Vulcan.
Scritch,
What?
go get Rubik.
But I'm so high up. You go get him. You're closer.
Come down and get Rubik.
Aww.
Yeah, being a
He's
captain.
gonna start
is
climbing
always fun.
down. After a moment, you see all the other cloaked figures are standing down on the docks, while this one is, Balthazar, the Dragonborn, is just standing there, kind of face to face with you as he's looking you over. Is Rubik still the leader of this group?
Yeah. There's also Ivan is still here. I guess you
Ivan,
would
yes.
know him. And a few others.
Well, I'm glad to hear their names. It's be good to see their faces. And he's going to walk over and greet you with a very, very friendly handshake.
Shake his hand firmly.
Okay. As you shake his hand, we were actually going to end it there for tonight.
Noise.
So the reinforcements have arrived, and Marco is going to go speak to the silver scale.
Now we don't need the silver
scale
scales.
leaders.
Fuck 'em.
Yeah. They come back. We agree. We don't need you.
Paid.
Getting paid.
Yeah. Well, Scritch is getting paid.
Yeah, that's true. Scritch is getting paid by Dev mainly.
Yeah, I mean, they say Dev's such an asshole, but look, he's a really good guy.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
he's helping us already.
Super helpful. All right, I guess we are going to go ahead and wrap up there, though.
Yes.
Yes.
Thanks everybody for listening in. Greatly appreciated. Much appreciated from the Round Stump. Thanks all, and have a good night. I'm gonna give the streamers their say and their words to close out for the rest of the night. But thanks everybody else, and we really appreciate it. But also vote if you can before you go, and let us know who you think the best player was, or whoever had the most fun, or you really enjoyed listening to the most.
Yep. I will end off the archive there, and we will pick this all up next week, same time, hopefully.
Yeah.
All right.
Which
See
is
y'all.
6 p.m. my time.
7 p.m. EST for anybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.